Welcome, everybody. It's been a hot minute, Morgie. A couple weeks since you saw us last with a bit of a preview for what we're getting today. It's the semi-finals. Time to put it all on the line, as one Emperor ZK would say. Best of sevens, win in advance, lose and go home.
That's it. Everything for the season has been leading up to these last couple of weeks. The first week of playoffs tonight, obviously, we've got some interesting games, and then all of that obviously leads through to our second week of playoffs next week. So yeah, it's come down to this formal. I think we've got some good teams, and I think not a huge surprise. A couple of the teams that have earned their spot here tonight. Honestly, it's hard to call that kind of that middle ground of teams, but I think all four teams obviously have worked very hard to get here tonight, and very deserving of their spot.
Yeah, they definitely all are. And joining with us as well as we kick off another great playoff period is our sponsor, AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provides best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. Indomie is our noodle partner. Made with high-quality flour and select ingredients and spices, a plate of Indomie meat goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. But yes, coming into today, obviously, this is going to be a very interesting top four. We kind of knew who these top four teams were going to be for nearly a month now, Morgie. We just didn't know the order they were going to be in, but now we have it. Macquarie, UON, UNSW, RMIT.
Yeah, definitely not a huge surprise, particularly Macquarie coming into the league this season with some fantastic players. UNSW, our champions from last season, ended up in second place by the end of this season, which has been a little bit of a swap after going undefeated from last season. And then RMIT and UON as well, battling it out, having some wins, some losses on the board, but ultimately ending in that top four.
Yeah, it is going to be a fun one, and it is important to take note of those bottom teams as well, because we will be seeing, as you see down below, well, a third place match. We're going to see the Open Division one instead. But yeah, so QUT, UTS, Griffith, Swinburne, they're all down there in the Open Divisions. They all could make another appearance. Sorry, production man, we can look at the bracket now. I know you're really keen to get into that bracket. Macquarie versus UON, our first match. Then we'll get New South Wales RMIT. But we will see all four of these teams again next week on Grand Final.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly, I think this has played out well, and kind of, I guess, throwing it back to last week, we did have a chance there that UNSW, had they lost their game last week, would have ended up in fourth position and would have been taking on Macquarie this week. So I think they're kind of glad that isn't the matchup for this week. Obviously, Macquarie have been quite dominant throughout the entire season. So we will see them take on UON instead.
Can we just acknowledge the fact that combining a tiger and a spider together is terrifying? Look at the New South Wales RMIT logo. It's like a tiger, it's like a spider with a giant tiger mouth. It's like, I want no part of that. I worry for Macquarie and UON if that's what they're up against. Definitely the superior merger of logos. Yes, though, back on track. Open Division. We will be seeing their third place match and their grand final next week as well. We don't know who's going to be there just yet. Those matches are being played as we get into our matches here. Macquarie versus UON, of course, being our first. So I think we can start to take a look at some of the players.
Yes, we can. So our third place match today for the Open Series, and the final next week. But yeah, I think it'll be a good night. Both weeks are going to be good. I think obviously playoffs week next week, the finals week is we're going to see our most intense matches. But I think we've got some really interesting matches here today. Still, obviously our first one being Macquarie, our first on the ladder, taking on fourth place in UON. That's not to say UON haven't had, they don't have it. Sorry, not to say UON doesn't have their strengths of their own. Bud, Eminence, and Ascent have been playing really, really well this season. Obviously, a returning team from last season. And I don't know. I think they could do some damage here to Macquarie. It's tough to say that they would beat Macquarie just with the way Macquarie has been playing throughout this season. But UON, I think they are a strong team, and obviously they've worked hard to get here.
Yeah, here's the problem that I worry UON is going to run into, okay?
Mm.
You have a player on the Macquarie side who, this weekend, just freed up a lot of time to focus on InterVarsity Rocket League after an unfortunate semifinal in RLCS. I suspect Lunar is about to pop off this series. They can go full bore, full Macquarie, 110%. And, I mean, also, let's take a further step back. This is a person who is getting regular top fours, won a regional this year in RLCS, made it to another finals as well, was so close to qualifying to a major in Worlds. They're currently playing like one of the best players in the region. Props where it is due. Unfortunately, UON just doesn't have anybody at that level right now. So I'm looking at this lineup and I'm thinking Macquarie should be able to play around Lunar and 4-0.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think Luna's got that type of attitude as well. You know, the loss in RLCS was unfortunate, but he doesn't strike me as the type of player to let that get to him too much, to, you know, to not then continue the same kind of momentum he has mentally going into other competitions or other leagues like Uni League. I think he will come out swinging in this one. I think they will want to take this series quickly, and they will want to assert some dominance kind of going into next week.
Also, like finals, right? Everyone should be studying as well. Get in, get your games over, head back to your studies. I was actually talking to the QUT Marvel Rivals team a little bit about that, where apparently they went super deep, and one of their players was just like complaining the entire time that they had to go study and can't they end faster, and it just kept going and going and going. Not sure that's going to happen here. Funny little anecdote. QUT finally won a game actually, which was a bit shocking. Still not as successful as the Rocket League team, and we'll see how they play out here. They could be playing in our third place match at the end of the night tonight, or possibly next week. But right now, it is Macquarie in blue, UON in orange, best of 7. So we are going to be going a little bit longer this time around. Where we go?
I think that it's also an interesting factor to consider a best of 7, given that the rest of the season are all best of 5s. I think that can throw a little bit of a spanner in the works for teams sometimes, where they think they've got a little bit more room going into this. They think they can lose a game or two and still bring a series back when it's a best of 7 rather than a best of 5. So, you know, hoping both teams don't take that mentality and kind of come into this quickly from the get-go. So I think whoever has the momentum at the start will continue.
Yeah, it's pretty safe to say when you also see the team at the start with momentum has been Macquarie's second goal in under 30 seconds. Lunar just, I mean, that's exactly where you want the shot to go, right? Top bin, in it is, 2 points, under half a minute. This is coming out swinging.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's probably, maybe we might see a third here, gets the reset, but does get blocked on that one. Now seeing the ball go back the other way. Eminence sending it to that backboard. Akame's there to collect though. We're just trying to take it further upfield, but a sense there for the block. At least we are seeing a little bit of back and forth at the moment. It's not totally one-sided. Lunar almost with a third on the board there though. Definitely Macquarie putting on some pressure right now.
And Macquarie, they're coming out looking pretty good. Although I do need to kind of bring up a little something here, right? Ray rocking the ground zero card. Lunar plays for power. This
True.
What's going on there? That's potential team discohesion.
Was Ray using the? I swear this was a thing last week, wasn't it? Or maybe it wasn't Ray. Was Ray playing last week? I swear someone was in the ground zero decal, and we were talking about it.
It looks pretty good. Like it's actually one of the better ones. That's why I'm pretty sure. I think out of all of the OCE ones, I know you're bought for and paid for by power, but I kind of like it.
I mean, the only decal I do have is the ground zero decal, to be fair. Oh, Bud comes in with a goal of his own to bring this deficit back a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a great 50 against Lunar, and Ascent gives Bud the pat on the back, like, good job, you won the 50 here, let's score the goal together as well. On the board, UON, maybe they got a little something here.
Little bit of momentum, maybe, if they can hang on to it. Yeah, but it does still feel like it's Macquarie's game at the moment. They're just looking a little bit more assertive, although we're starting to see a little bit of offensive pressure out of UON here. Swing back the other way though. A sense on the backboard with this ball, trying to get it out. Kind of hits it to the center there. That's a bit of a pass to the midfield. All three players from Macquarie lurking. Ray's going to go for a shot, but 3 defenders there to save that one.
Ame side with it. Gets a little bit of a cheat bump in. Now it's Luna's turn. And something that's just so impressive right now with Macquarie is how they're just slowing it down midfield, controlling when they want to shoot, how they want to play it. It feels like UON is really sort of stuck in an awkward spot where they're, because of the slower pace, they're just unable to get a strong enough touch to get past that midfield line.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Oh, Luna looking for a double here, but Ascent ready for that one. It does seem to be a lot of possession coming out of Macquarie here in comparison to the possession that UON have had. Luna is going to come in for a double. That, how many goals to Luna? That's 2 goals to Luna so far. Not quite the hat trick just yet. I did think for a sec that that might be a lovely double though to put Macquarie up by 2.
Yeah, that double is exactly the kind of, play we are coming to expect from Lunar in situations like this. Also, shout out to Zenulus in the chat right now. Call in for Jimmy to make an appearance. Where's Jimmy right now, Morgie?
He is actually in my room right now looking after one of the dogs. I don't know if you saw him, Formal, or heard him, or that was just magic. You just sensed Jimmy was nearby. Maybe Zen's been calling out for him in chat. Then I'm going to break the 4th wall here. Jimmy, Zen says hi.
There you go.
I got a laugh and a nod.
Shout out to Zen. Also had a good actual RLCS run this last regional.
Very well.
Pretty good for a retired player, I must say. Here we go, though. Ball back corner. Going to be a shot. Eminence. Net was open, and we're back within 1.
Need to see this replay to have a little bit of a look as to where the Macquarie players were. Ray was pushing that one a little bit with not enough boost. Luna was on the opposite side of the field, full boost, but was quite wide on that one. I think rotation is falling a little bit out of place there. The net was open. Eminence took the shot, and we're back within 1 for.
Back within 1, and this game maybe a little bit closer than we expected. UON's Bud had some demos, but didn't finish it with the shot. That's okay. Akame back to the other side. Second touchdown, not in. It's going to be Lunar. Ooh, wanted a double. I feel like they could have put that on target. Wanted to be a little more, fun with it. Fair enough. Under a minute to go, though. 1-goal game. Anything can happen from here.
Absolutely. Plenty of time left in this one. Macquarie not with enough of a buffer at the moment to be totally comfortable. Although I don't think they're sweating it too much just yet. UON wanting to equalise this one. Wanting to, honestly, they could take it to OT. There's still time for potentially 2 goals if either team can get the kickoff as well. Seeking this one on net at the moment. Luna's going to pass it into centre. Go for the double. This could be a shot. It hits the bar. We hear the ding. Not in yet.
Oh, a little bit of a heartbreak, but that's okay. More chances should come as Lunar will rotate all the way back corner. One last chance for UON in game number 1. And they're not really going to get that chance, Morgie. Lunar almost does something special. Doesn't get the goal, but the damage should be done to put it away, or is it? I'm seeing boost on Ascent and Bud. There is a chance here. Ball gets put down game.
Ball gets put down game. Definitely a quick drop down off that backboard from Macquarie there, just to make sure we weren't going to swing back the other way. But yeah, that shot from Luna at the end, I agree. That would have been absolutely spectacular. It was so close, just a millimeter to the left. But good to see that Luna is in good form for this series. Obviously, like I said, it's a best of 7. We got a little bit more time on this one tonight, and I'm excited to see a bit more of that.
Yeah, I think we should be seeing a good one for sure. I mean, especially if Luna's going to be going for clips. UON's playing aggressive enough when they're on the attacking side to stay competitive. I'm liking the bumps. I'm liking the physicality. So, yeah, this series might not be as straightforward as we initially perhaps feared a little bit, as a bit of a car swap seems to be happening right now with Akame. Macquarie still got the win, though, so we're not in crazy town just yet. Still, it's a tough road for UON to get back in it, but plenty of time left in this series. You get an extra game, so we'll see what happens.
Definitely. Good to see you in this one really well, though. Honestly, I think Eminence, Bud, and Ascent played that one really well. There were some really good 50s in that. There were some really good clears. They were playing very tactically tactically. It's just sometimes it's hard when Macquarie possess the kind of mechanics they do and when they possess that kind of game knowledge and that rotation. But I think UON managed to stay in it really well. Like I said, the 50s, the use of their cars, not just mechanically, but physically, and the bumps coming out of UON as well, I think could make the difference for them here if they play it smart.
Well, we will see how they do learn to adapt, as have a little bit of a tech timeout on our hands. Shouldn't take too long, and well, I was told there would be no timeouts, and yet here we are with a tech timeout.
Very tactical.
Nobody told the computers that, hey, no timeouts in this one, right? Like, so they just decided to crash on their own. Shouldn't take too long by the looks of things. Should only be about a minute or two, and we will be back into this. So let's take a look at, like, how should I put this? I want to break it back again and talk about predictions that we kind of had before, because we already each kind of came to an agreement. Macquarie over UON. Second series, I think we're going to be in agreement as well with UCID over RMIT, although that one might be closer.
UNSW, yeah.
Oh, UNSW, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
UCID's gone, haven't they?
Yep.
They were from a different time. They're not even in the Elite Series this year. But yes, I don't look. It's state of origin. All right, let me make fun of New South Wales. I am here instead of watching. Yeah. No, you're.
So long as it's not Victoria. Don't make fun of Victoria. Then we've got a problem. Make fun of
state of origin.
Oh, okay. Sorry. State. Yeah.
There is no.
Oh no. State of origin, I'm Queensland through and through. They've always taken the Victorian players. They've taken our best Storm players. I'm Maroons through and through.
There you go.
That is fair.
Well, unfortunately, this is two New South Wales teams. Okay. Macquarie's New South Wales, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Northern Sydney, I think. North Sydney CBD.
Well, UON is closer to Queensland, so maybe that's why they're on the more maroon-coated side. Right now, we are in game number 2. Ray's going to put the shot in. First point goes to Macquarie.
Less than 20 seconds in, they definitely get their first goal early, Macquarie, don't they? Luna was chasing down this bump as well, and Eminence took him out last second there just to make sure he wasn't going to stretch that ball, make sure that goal was secured. Macquarie up by 1 early.
It was early lead last time, though. They had 2 goals at this point, so one could call that improvement. Another could say, well, Macquarie still is where they need to be. Bump from behind stops Luna from playing setup. Could allow Ray a challenge, but controls it instead. Akame, side to side, ascent, low collect. Now they're going to have a play on Lunar, who has the boost, has the touch. Won't stay with it. Found Akame instead. Up the field we go.
Field we go, but Ray's going to get a block on that one. Bud trying to get this back down, but Akame is going to put that touch up for Luna. Luna looking for the double, goes a little bit too high on that one. Again, another close double from Luna, but that one doesn't sink either.
Doesn't sink, but there still could be chances as Ray. No look, throw it more middle. Luna got the touch. Now looks to play more towards the net. Off the backward, Akame not there. At least not yet. Bud tries to clear midfield. Found a set. Good connection. Eminence. For Bud. They're burning a lot of boost and moving very slowly up the field, Morgie. Now they put a shot on.
Oh, a little too late on that one, though. A little bit of time wasted. Macquarie recaptured themselves in defense there. They are trying to get it out at the moment. It's good to see this offensive pressure coming out of UON. They're keeping it in their offensive half. Arme is going to try and get this one out, though. Again, Eminence jumps for that block. They're doing well to keep this pressure on forward.
Yeah, that they are, and hopefully they can maintain it deep. They're back to the other side of Kame!
Ooh. Beautiful angle.
That was cheeky. That was cheeky from Akame. I mean, he was pushing up, and he even... We've seen a few passes like that, I feel like, where it's been Lunar to Akame up the middle. Finally, it connects for the goal.
It was a nice little sidebar and in on that one for that ball to go in. Bud's going for the bump, gonna get taken out. It almost seemed like a defensive bump coming out of Luna here as Bud tried to get in front of him. Luna took him out anyway. 50 from Ascent sends that ball in though.
So, okay, look, that was a great play by Bud. Put the pressure. Luna was off balance and kind of got bumped around a bit. 2 of UON's goals have come from bumping Lunar. Put that out there. It's happened twice now. I don't know how much you really want to read into something like that. Just a fun fact, maybe. UON finding their strategy. As AEST just throws one towards net, Ray will catch.
Definitely a little bit of tactics starting to go on, and honestly, smart. Luna is a very, very skilled player. If you can take him out of the play with a bump or a demo, if you can actually manage to do that, I think it's definitely a smart play. Eminence going to the sidewall here. 50 on that ball from Luna, puts it across the face of the net. Ascent gets a nice clear though.
Eminence swings and misses. Here comes Ascent, but Akame's already on the backboard and will look to keep following up. Lunar underneath without boost, wants to go back to Akame. These two have been connecting time and time again. This time, though, it won't result in a shot. In fact, it's Eminence the other way. What a beautiful interception off the side, turning into a goal.
Lovely pass from Bud as well to put that right on Eminence's nose. Gets a nice touch off the corner of his car, putting that ball into the bottom right-hand side of that net. Tied ball game. 2 minutes left on the clock.
2 minutes left, and I mean, look, that goal made Zen happy, the ex-Macquarie player. Don't know which side, he's rooting for in this situation, but still something to note. Akame almost gets a triple. Does have the ball bounced away, but it's a tie game. Under 2 minutes remaining. Again, UON, they're doing enough to keep the series tight.
They definitely are, and we're starting to see a little more in the way of mistakes coming out of Macquarie as well. A few cracks in that armor. Not as careful with their touches as they seem to be at the start of first match, and it's definitely doing well for UON to have them make those mistakes.
That is on several occasions right now. It's Akame. Have to try and not find too much. And left an awkward spot right there. Ascent instead. Also going the wrong direction. Loses the ball as well. Lunar there to pick it up. Eminence wants to control it from a bit further behind, but it is Ray, who instead keeps it in the corner. Neither team with a real threatening approach just yet. It's just sort of each team trying to slow play until Bud! Ooh. Oh my! Oh. It was a fake that almost worked.
I mean, he almost got the touch on it as well. So I think he was going for the redirect. I don't think it was intentionally meant to be a fake. But had that redirect gone in, that would have been an insane goal. Had the fake worked, it would have been an insane goal. Nonetheless, we're still all tied up. Almost 30 seconds left on the clock here. Someone's going to need a strike soon.
Yeah, it's Lunar.
Yep.
Yep.
Saw him lurking. Should have known. What was I thinking? Ending the set. Should have known.
I mean, look, that pass with two defenders coming both directions, and it wasn't the fastest pass, but it was just fast enough. Lunar there to turn it around and score the point. Late lead now for the Macquarie side. It was a good goal. A chance to equalize, though. Ascent! Oh, gets denied by Akame.
It was a smart play in the sense of Luna faked out Eminence on the goal line a little bit by kind of shimmying just the slightest bit, making Eminence believe that he was going to take the shot a second sooner. Made Eminence go around the ball. So yeah, definitely a smart goal. 7 seconds left on the clock though. Can UON get this equalizer? It's not looking likely as the clock keeps ticking down. Eminence is going to try and get it upfield. Now have it in the hands of Ray. Still ball up at the moment though. Maybe a goal yet? Still a bit of time.
Yeah, but if it is going to be a goal, it's going to go Macquarie's way as Ray. Oh, boy!
Hang on a sec. What was that? What was that angle? Bar down and in on 0 seconds. Wowie.
Oh my goodness. I know it's a 0-second goal that doesn't really attest to much, but my goodness, that goal. That was very nice, Ray. And a very nice game again from the Macquarie side. UON keeping it interesting, but I don't know, it's still not been enough.
Yeah, not enough just yet, but I still feel like there's enough in this. I want to say I don't think it's going to be a sweep the way of Macquarie. I think UON, if they can secure one game, then they may be able to hold on to that momentum. I think they can take a game off Macquarie the way both teams are playing right now, but it's tricky to call. All I'm confident in saying is I don't think it's going to be a sweep.
Yeah, I don't think it is going to be. I think I think it'll be game 4. Game 4, UON will get one back.
Yeah.
As you know, shout out to the chat. Hey, I see Matsy. How you going? Doing good. I actually kind of caught a little bit of your casting yesterday. It was very, very nice. And Zen confirming that there is the most beef with the quarry. He wants them to crash and burn. Probably because, scared of the potential matchup. No, I jokes, of course. Yeah, it should be interesting. I just type in, 2 letters in the game chat, and I just got flamed the entire time. They're still going.
I looked away for a split second at my secondary monitor, and all I could hear was ding, 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 like the game messages coming through. I was like, what's going on? Look back, and we're just starting a bit of beef in the chat at the moment.
Yeah, no, I'm just, some days you just want it all to burn, Morgie. Today is one of those days. Shot on from Ray, not in.
It is one of those. Fair enough, it's one of those days. It's playoffs time. We need a little bit of burn at the moment. We need a little bit of chaos. Well, the one thing we always say is that we love a little bit of chaos, and it's not been enough chaos yet, so Formal's going to start it.
I'm just thinking back on everything that's happened in Oceanic Rocket League so far this year. We've had a lot of chaos, Morky. It has been a very chaotic year. Shots on and in. Ray making it 1-0.
It has been an extremely chaotic year. I mean, I feel like I think that every year, but I feel like this year it was the icing on the cake for OCE. But that's the way we like it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of we are a fun little region. It's just kind of hard to not be a bit reflective of what happened last week and still riding the high from that amazing conclusion to RLCS. And I'm hoping AEL can deliver something of that same caliber. Here we go. 50's up above. Ray down below. We'll start to bring it back up the other way. Collects the boost. Now, wants to throw it back down to somebody. It is Lunar, and that's a 2-0 lead.
Almost looked like that ball was going to drop down in net. Maybe it would have probably been a little bit too slow. Luna's just going to come in and up by 2. We've just had over a minute of gameplay. It just seems to be their style at the moment for was they get a couple of goals on the board early. They've not necessarily kept that momentum throughout the games, otherwise we would have had a few really high scoring games. UON are just coming into these games a little bit slow, Macquarie a little bit too fast for them, and just hanging on to that lead.
I mean, Lunar did say in the interviews, that this is more relaxed for them, and I think they definitely might ease up a little bit and start going more for the clips once they get the 2-0 lead. And again, I mean, when you consider how high pressure and how high stakes this last weekend was, you can understand that mentality coming in. But at that same token, we've seen teams get too comfortable in the past and let things slip that they probably shouldn't. So I appreciate them getting the early lead just to kind of as that buffer. But I don't know, UON, we've seen them do crazy things. This has been Bud's best season to date. So I never really want to count UON out.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, kind of add to your point, I definitely think complacency can be a killer in Rocket League. You can get too comfortable, you can get too complacent, and then before you realize it, obviously games are quick in Rocket League. We've got 5-minute games rather than other esports having games lasting between 30 minutes to an hour. So if you're complacent for 5 minutes, you lose a game. Make it another 5 minutes, you're 2 games down. And you can lose that lead very quickly. So having that buffer at the start is so important.
Yeah, I would have to agree. It's also, something else of note, which became very true over the weekend, is that last hurdle being the hardest, right?
Oh, absolutely.
If things continue, the way they are, if the Game 4 hurdle does prove to be the challenge that I'm kind of hoping it will be for the sake of an extended series. But for right now, it is UON on the back foot.
Yeah, definitely haven't been able to find their groove in this game just yet. 2 defenders in net there, making sure Luna's not going to put another one on the board. So we are going to be able to swing back down the other way. Ascent's pinched that one. It's gone to the midfield though, not exactly where that ball needed to be. For UON at the moment, a shot on as well. Eminence makes it the save.
No, I just realized something. We, on the weekend, on Sunday, as Eminence takes a shot backward, not in, we proved that we can make a TriCast work. We need to get BK on
I saw that.
We need to
I
get
saw
Pay
that.
on the mic with us. That's where I'm going with this.
I honestly, I'm keen. I think. What do we reckon, BK? Thoughts?
Yeah, for the finals. So this would be a next week thing. I'm bringing up now to mentally prepare him that we're gonna drag him in for the finals. A minute 10 still to go. 2-0 lead. Here comes a Kame. Oh, it's not in.
I look, maybe breaking the fourth wall again when I say this, but heard a very resounding no through the headset just then. So I don't know what you're gonna do to convince Informal, but I reckon it'll be tricky.
Yeah, it's challenge accepted. All right, we'll see what happens as AEST almost was able to bring it back in. We're under a minute remaining here in game number 3. 2 quick goals, and then the bus was parked at the rest stop. We're just taking our time, waiting to go into game number 4 right now. Unfortunately for the UON side, only 4 shots on target, none of them going in the net.
Yeah, not looking too great for them at the moment. I guess to kind of counter that as well, only 5 shots, sorry, make that 6 now on target for Macquarie. Only 2 goals have gone in. So yeah, definitely not the most high scoring series form. I think on paper you'd almost expect Macquarie to be a high scoring team in these games. I'll put 3 on the board. Kind of mid scoring game this one, but yeah, I think that they're definitely taking it easy. They're definitely relaxing and enjoying themselves here.
I feel UON and Eminence looked a little bit too relaxed right there, resetting it towards his own net. Sure. What that one was, but yeah. Hey, look, redemption. Second goal in a row.
Actually, I wonder how many of those we're going to get tonight. I feel like that should be a running tally. We've talked about it before about like having a running tally of certain stats. I reckon that should be a running tally. How many 0-second goals do we get throughout the season?
I imagine it's been a fair few actually. But the bigger question is how many of them were at times that matter.
True, actually. I mean, yeah, the 0-second goal we had last game, spectacular. Incredible goal from Ray. Didn't affect the scoreline, though. It didn't change the outcome of the game, so it is a good point.
Still probably the best goal of the night thus far. Hopefully we'll get another one like that when it could matter that little bit more, but we still, as Ray is claiming, one more game. So, shots fired from Macquarie. They think they got one more in them. You will see. As morale might be a little bit lower on the UON side. Getting ready to go into game number 4. And I don't know, Morgie. If there's going to be a game UON's going to take, we did say it would be this one. I still feel there is a greater than 30% chance. I believed it before last match, but being completely gate-kept from the scoreline last game, I think would tank the mental a little bit. Oh, actually, sorry, no, what am I saying? This is 0-second goal. What? Let's go, OCE!
Oh, no. It looked good. It looked good had it been the other net. It looked good.
So, as we were saying before, Game 4 is when the complacency might step in, and you might do things that you typically wouldn't do with a bit more pressure.
UON are... I don't know if you'd be happy with that. I mean, they'll take the lead at this point if they can get the lead early. Not the way they probably would have expected to take the lead, thank you, Luna, but a lead nonetheless for them early on.
I was getting so much, Lunar's not a coin flip player. No, he's not. He's not. He genuinely is not. He genuinely had the best season we have seen from him to date. Winning that regional was fantastic, but my goodness, man, that was pretty peak. Here we go. AEST now wanting fakes the musty, goes to the ground instead. Lunar tries to play keep away. Bud stays in the way. Akame with no boost can only keep it popped up. Eminence is waiting. Pass intercepted by Lunar. Here we go. AEST and keeping it high. Reset. Nope. Instead it's a touchdown to Eminence. There's one defender there, but the defender wins the 50. It was Lunar.
Great defensive read from Luna there as well, not to get faked out by not one but 2 UOM players chasing that ball towards net. Played it very patiently, exactly how he needed to make that save. that ball hits that the corner of the net there, doesn't go in. Could have been nice for UON to secure a second one on the board. They're only up by 1 as of yet.
But yeah, but there's still time to go. 3:10 remaining. Again, Ray called his shot. One more game. A little bit invisible so far in this one. We'll be curious if he'll get involved. Has a chance right now. Good touch. No follow-up yet. Lunar backing into the corner. Gets the second play as well. And now, finally, Macquarie gets on the attacking half.
It's been a strangely quiet attacking half game for Macquarie in this one, aside from the own goal before. But UON definitely wanting to keep this pressure on now that they've got that 1 goal lead. We've got 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. That's still half a game, still plenty of time for anything to happen. But at the moment, it is looking more UON dominant.
Yeah, I imagine if we get to like the final minute or so, we're going to see that next level from the Macquarie side. That tends to happen in these situations. Akame almost was able to stay underneath that. Could have had another amazing dribble. I mean, it still feels like Macquarie is almost going for clips at times.
Yeah, it does. I think you're right, though, in saying that last minute, that clock will turn over to that last minute and we'll start to see a little bit more intensity out of Macquarie. Kind of just letting this run down at the moment. That's a bit close, but Eminence makes it there for the save.
I was a bit close for Ascent getting an own goal from that position. Okay, we're good though. The defense still holding. UON doing what they have to stay alive. 100 seconds left before a potential game 5. Ray can't go too far. We have a DC pause, and I believe it's Lunar who may have DC'd.
Akame. DC crash.
Oh boy, that's a little bit awkward right there. Hopefully it's not going to take too long before we get back into it. And yep, it definitely is going to be a bit of a tech pause once again.
That's it, 2 for the series so far. Hopefully that is all our tech pauses out for the day. Let's not jinx the next couple of series, but yeah, slight tech pause. Still a minute 30 left on the clock, so at least it wasn't in the final seconds of the game when you trying to really fight for that last goal.
Yeah, it will lead to an interesting reset though. Again, 1-0, a chance for a little bit of a kickoff strat, which I imagine we will throw it back to when we get back into this. And you know, it's kind of weird. RLCS, we saw a lot of crazy kickoff strats. Haven't seen too many yet in this series today. I would like to see, I'd actually like to see UON try something, because I feel like it's UON who would love that second. The second goal would help them immensely securing game number.
I think UON would benefit from it quite a lot as well, because maybe it's something Macquarie wouldn't expect out of them, or Macquarie maybe wouldn't expect out of many of the teams in this league, because it's not something we see too often. I feel like we've barely seen any kickoff strats this entire season. A few last season, I don't think many this season. So definitely would come as a bit of a surprise or a bit of a shock factor. So if they can manage to pull something like that off, it may work out for them.
I'm just laughing because I'm pretty much Macquarie has invaded Twitch chat right now. They're listening to us for advice. Just score a goal. Good call. Just score off kickoff. I think we're going to get some kickoff strats. That's all I'm saying. We'll see.
I'll be really disappointed, guys, now if you don't. So just saying, now we're kind of hoping for it at this point.
Well, I mean, look, they already called out the one more game. So that's where we're at. We'll see what happens. A lot of ways this series could still go. Especially if Akame can rocket with a 2v3, but this isn't the other Rocket League here, so we will be back, it looks like, with a 3-on-3. I believe players are getting ready to go one more time. So a minute and a half, 1 goal lead for UON. They are 3 games down though, so they have to pull off the reverse sweep against the undefeated #1 seed. Very difficult ask. Let's see if they can hold on to game 4 at minimum.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we did call it would be a 4-1, so if Johan can just hang on to this lead a little bit longer. A minute 34 seconds left on the clock. They've been doing well to hold on to it so far.
That they have, and we'll see what they can do. At the moment, it is going to be Ray throwing it over to Lunar, who has enough boost for one more touch.
Ooh.
Wanted the pass to Akame. They're not going to connect. In fact, it can come back the other way. AEST puts it on target, diving back. Ray makes the save.
Great dive from Ray on that one. Made it to that ball just in time to prevent the goal. Akame looking for the double down from the roof. Doesn't get it though. We're starting to hit this minute mark. Formal. Are Macquarie going to bring out their big guns now?
I think we've already kind of seen it. The tempo has already increased since we've come back. And there is the reset. All wanted the position with the 50. Fantastic save from Eminence to stop the goal. And now Eminence, oh, they don't put it on target. They go corner instead. Lunar, awkward challenge, but Akame's there to help Macquarie out.
Back down into Macquarie's offensive half here. Luna looking for the center. Ray's there. He gets it over one. Eminence makes it back though. No boost in the tank, but just enough to get to that ball. Going back down the other way. Ascent seeking a second goal. Akame goes for the block on the roof. It almost puts it in front of net. And Eminence is going to get the follow-up after that chaos, after that mess. That ball was loose in front of net. All Eminence had to do was swing forward and pop it in off Luna's nose. He does so. They're up by 2. Formal. It's looking like this could be UON's game.
It's feeling like a UON win right now. Good stuff. Oh, there's the kickoff strats we wanted to see. And it actually might work here. Lunar's in a very dangerous spot. AEST will cut him off, though. And that should put this game away. UON, they take game number 4. They keep their AEL Elite Series hopes alive. Or do they? Wait. Oh, my.
Oh. That was looking a little scary. Just a tad dangerous from Macquarie there, but I think you're right. We're starting to see a bit of a momentum shift, although it hasn't resulted in a goal for Macquarie just yet. I think going into our next game, having this momentum, they could secure that 4-1.
Now, yeah, we do go to a game 5. People win. Very nicely done. We'll see if Macquarie can, straighten the ship after that. I mean, that game was a little bit awkward. You have your disconnect, which, kind of triggered Macquarie starting to increase the tempo, but it wasn't enough to bring them back in it. Akame put 6 shots on target, but was kind of like the only one shooting for Macquarie. We'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say, seeing only 1 shot out of Luna and only 1 shot out of Ray isn't characteristic of either of the two of them. Usually we do see quite a lot of shots out of, Luna in particular, but Ray as well. So Ame being the only striker on the team for that game has resulted in a loss. I think that made it easier to read for the UON defenders. But maybe if we had that rotation or a more even split of rotation between the strikers going into the next game, then Macquarie may have the upper hand again.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what they can do with that upper hand as we get geared up, ready to go. It's good to see university education. A lot of English students in this lobby as we get ready. Game number 5. Very, very critical one, because if game number 5 starts to go back the other way, well, then maybe you start to believe in the reverse sweep. The outcome comes out, though. 5 minutes on that clock, obviously. All right, I'm going to slightly off topic here. What is your thoughts on Aquadome on this map?
I don't hate it. I don't have it. I feel like it's one of those. It's a bit of a grey area for me. I've definitely got maps I prefer, but it's not the worst map. Why am I blanking on the name of the map? But there's a map that it's bright orange, and I feel like I've been back when obviously I don't. Wasteland. Thank you. Back when I used to stream, I'd see myself on camera and my face was just bright orange, and I was like, oh my god, I'm blinded by the light of this map. It was insane.
So, I like this map. I think it's fun to play on. However, for broadcasts, I'm not keen on it. We don't have the crowd. Where's the crowd ambience, the cheers, and all that? I noticed this over the weekend, where it's like big time matches and Kame can't get it through, but without like the eggs cheering you on, it's very it's straight. You go from like hype stadiums to a moment of zen, or back to the hype crowds again. It's strange.
I think we start a petition. Okay, we start a petition. We send an email, and we express our problem with this, and we say, okay, here's the solution: eggs with snorkels. That's how we're going to get them on this map. That's how we're going to have the crowd and the ambience back. Because who's going to be cheering these goals? Ray just scored. No one's cheering. Nice pinch down from the roof from Luna to split that into center for Ray. We need cheering. You're right, Paul.
Yeah, because I mean, we're certainly not cheering for that goal. That would be ridiculous. 1-0 lead. We have to be unbiased talent. Here, Ray, though, good goal. Good start for the Macquarie side. Backboard. Lunar, down, second touch. Oh my, not in!
Oh, and the follow-up from Akame as well. Pressure is on. Luna has had so many, like, insane close calls this series. More than I feel like we've had out of him for honestly the entire season so far. Obviously, Luna has had some spectacular goals, but we've had so many this series. So close. I think we will see some of these sink for him soon, though.
I think we will. Ray, oh, sets up Ray, who sets up Ray. There we go. All three members of Macquarie piling towards the goal, and it feels like they're back in their game 1, 2, and 3 form.
Well, definitely looking a lot better now. Eminence, no boost in the tank in net there. Couldn't make it to the save. 2 goals up on the board from Macquarie. They are dangerous when they have this kind of buffer. We saw it in the first few games. They hang on to these leads, and UON, they're going to have to pick up the pace quickly, or they're going to have to change tactics if they want to counter this now.
They don't get that initial goal, but that's okay. It's going to be Eminence and Ascent. Back to the other side. Second touch from Ascent. Gets them into the corner deep. Clear from Lunar. Demo from Eminence. Ray, who actually should score this, and does. 3-0 lead.
Good read here from Ray, and a great clear from Luna as well to send that back down the other end of the field. That'll honestly very, very well timed on that flip. I feel like most times we see that kind of play come out. The flip's too early, the flip's too late. It has to be perfectly timed to be able to get that ball into the net, and Ray has done that.
Ray has done very well, and with the 3-goal cushion, against a team that's really been struggling to get anything on the board. Paper says that should be enough. We'll see, though. Again, all sense of security, lethargic playstyle, crazy double touch own goals. All these things can and have happened in the past, but so far it still is Macquarie just staying on that attacking half.
Yeah, definitely. They are relentless at the moment, and it's not boding well for UON. Although I feel like we've lost some of the momentum we saw out of UON in the first couple of games. Ray's going to put that one on net to make it 4. I think UON had a better physical game in the first couple of games. They were bumping, they were going for demos, but in particular was going for a lot of those, putting that pressure on or putting that intimidation on, whether he hit the bumps and demos or not. It was in the back of everyone on Macquarie's minds. They were looking out for those bumps, they were looking out for those demos. But we haven't seen as much of that in this game or even the last game.
And the end result has been a much, easier time for Macquarie to get those goals on a little bit undisrupted previously. But a reason for that, I think, has been just better management. Like, you can't get demoed if your opponents are having to conserve what boost they have for the plays itself, which has been a recurring thing I've noticed, especially when on the attacking side, every single midfield has gone in favor of the side. So well done to them in that regard. Final minute of play, and dare I say it is victory lap time for Macquarie. They're going to be going back to AEL final after missing out last season in a little bit of a surprise. Akame will find a 5th.
What's one more on the board? Possibly, I was going to say that could have been the nail in the coffin, but I feel like 4 goals is probably a tough ask for UON anyway. But nonetheless, we've got a 5th goal on the board for Macquarie. That is looking like it's going to be GG for this game. Looking like it's going to be GG's for this series. Macquarie definitely earning their win today.
They are, bud. Ooh, almost connects with Eminence. That would have been a nice little feather in the cap, I would imagine. For the UON side, something to end on, but instead, you need to go back and forth. Eminence popping it up, staying underneath. Touch actually gets them bumped off the play. Ascent puts it on. Is on the net. Oh my, that was off a Kame.
Did get a slight touch at the end there, but the play being the pass from Bud here, looking for Ascent, does get that.
Oh, maybe not.
Looks like, did Akame get the touch on it?
No, I thought it was off a Kame, but upon reflection, nope, it was not. That was an orange trail, so well-earned goal, and oh, off. Not quite. Oh, Ray, what?
Not a solid clear on that one. Kind of leaves it there. Enough for Eminence. Eminence almost turned away. Actually, thought that clear was going to go a little bit further, but lurked just long enough to be able to clean that one up. 2 goals on the board for UON. It's a little bit of a comeback.
It's like the kind of touch I was for when we were playing around. That one. Yikes moment. Here we go. It's set towards the net. Not going to go in. Time continues to tick down, but at the end of the day, it's not going to change much in this one. Macquarie are back where they believe they belong, and that is an AEL Elite Series Grand Final. This school's esports, man, they have been popping off in a lot of different areas, I must say. And they're going to be fighting another one here off the post down, but not over yet. There we go. They take the win.
That ball was being juggled at the end there by every single player on the field, trying to keep it up just a little bit longer, but nonetheless, you are right for Macquarie. They're honestly, they're doing really, really well with esports at the moment, Rocket League in particular. And yeah, great win from them today. Good fight from UON, but ultimately Macquarie coming out the victors of this series.
And with that victory as well, that's our first team in the grand final. We'll be having a word with Ray, I believe, very, very shortly. Kind of discuss that game, see where they're at, see how they're feeling. Another match coming up too, but not going to go into the break yet. We do have to. We're going to get this interview in because I want to hear fresh react, right? Just like the fresh ingredients and spices from Indomie McGorn. We're going to get fresh react from Ray, as he is ready to jump.
Fair enough. No, I do like the idea of a pretty immediate interview to kind of get, you're right, that raw reaction right off the back of the game. That excitement's still there. Although I'm sure Ray and the rest of the team would have been pretty confident going into today. I feel like they're confident going into next week. I feel like they're just confident in general. So I think we'll still get a pretty cool, calm, and relaxed interview out of them either way.
I feel like that's just a side effect of being on Lunar. Like, I don't think it matters. That team is going to be boosting confidence, right? That's just
yeah.
Kind of typically how it goes. New South Wales and RMIT up next. That series, I think this next one has potential to be a lot tighter, for sure. So I'm going to be on that. And that third place match, well, that's happening next week because the third place match we're getting today is, of course, going to be our Open Series third place match happening at 9 o'clock tonight. We have no idea. We do not know who's playing in that match yet. They're still figuring that out right now, which is why we are kind of on the wait and see.
Yep, still waiting for that one. So it'll be a bit of a surprise. We won't know just yet, but that makes it all the more interesting when even we don't know. You guys don't know. No one's going to know what's happening there, but we will know soon enough once those matches play out.
But what we do know is that we have Ray on the line with us right now. Hot off the victory, 4-1 series. Well done there. Look, I got to go straight to it, though. There was that little moment in Game 4, that own goal moment. I don't know why my brain is going straight to that one. What was going on?
Look, the intention there, Luna wanted the psycho, and it just didn't work out. Sometimes in life, it doesn't work out. And that was one of those moments. He thought he had a Zen moment. It happens. He'll have his other Zen moment in RLCS, I guess.
Or in the grand final, which is going to be next week as well. Again, congratulations on that. First real question, though. Bit of a longer break. And during that break, you know, Lunar probably had his RLCS commitments. People have finals coming up. Last time, Lunar said you guys never really scrimmed or practiced at all. Did you get some practice in this time before the semifinals?
Now, before I answer this question, what would your guess be here? What would your guess be?
It's always going to be doubtful. It's always going to be a little doubtful.
Production says no. The casters say doubtful. You guys are correct. Ding, ding, ding. On the money. On the money. Look, we might practice. I'm not gonna be playing for the grand finals. To be clear, Corp will be playing rather than me. It'll be Corp,
Oh.
Lunar, and Akame. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if they got some practice because UNSW is a very good team, but we didn't get any practice this week.
Fair enough. That's pending that UNSW make it through to the grand final. They've still got their series to play, and I guess that kind of leads into my question. I was going to ask, out of the two teams, out of UNSW and RMIT, is there a preference in who you would rather play? Let's set aside who you think is going to make it in. Is there a preference in who you would rather play?
Well, of course, the preference is always going to be RMIT. It's UNSW is a really good team. We did beat them, of course, but we do feel that UNSW is the better of the two teams. So, of course, we'd want to make the win as easy for us as possible. So, we'd want to verse RMIT.
So, again, you already know you're not going to be able to place this because of study commitments. Is this a team decision? What is inspiring?
It's a team decision. They've decided I'm gonna play the semis. Corp's gonna play the finals. It's a team decision.
Fair enough. And I mean, I'm assuming you still have full faith in the team that they'll be able to get the job done.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Full faith. I have no doubt in my mind. They'll get the job done. I'll force them to practice. As a team captain, I'll force them to get some sort of scrim or something beforehand, and I'm sure they'll get the job done.
I was going to say, if you're oh, sorry, you go, Paul.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, okay, if theoretically, if we're forcing practice in, I'm assuming scrims would be your first protocol. Anything else? Any specific type of practice you would be? Any weaknesses that you're thinking? Okay, this is what we need to practice on.
I mean, not really. We're not that deep into it. Of course, we're not like a proper RLCS team. We're kind of an AEL team. We just kind of want to get the chem up a bit, you know, get a bit of practice, see how we play with each other, see how it flows. Just, you know, get a scrim or two in beforehand, and then play the game, hopefully, and win.
All right, so my next question then, considering you're not going to be playing next week, I have to ask, what are your plans going into next semester? Are we back for another round? Is graduation happening? Surely this isn't the last we see of Ray.
Some bad news for you guys.
Oh,
very bad news. I will be back. I will be back.
Yes!
I will be back. No, I don't graduate until a year or two, so I'm chilling. I won't be graduating.
So, well, that's good to hear because it would be a bit of a sad surprise if this was your last series. Either way, congratulations on making the grand final. We'll see your team next week, but we'll see you next semester.
Thank you very much.
Congrats.
There you have it. That was Ray joining us from Macquarie, team captain, bravely benching himself for the belief of the team. That's an interesting one, but you know, trust in Corp, see what he'll be able to pull off in that final. But first, we got to figure out who's going to be there: New South Wales or RMIT Morgie. That's going to be our matchup when we return. Welcome back. One semifinal in the books. It went 5 games. This next one, Morgie, I think it's got the potential to go 7. 2 of the bigger names about to go at it, New South Wales and RMIT. And while New South Wales might be the favorite, RMIT has had some very strong performances this season. This promises to be a fun match.
Oh, definitely. RMIT have had some weeks where they've played out of their minds incredibly, have done a fair bit of damage to the rest of the teams throughout this season. And yeah, looking at the lineups now, I believe we have full rosters on both sides tonight. We've got Swaggy Worthy and Exodus playing for RMIT, and on the UNSW side, we've got Zen, Steve, and Tatagane.
I always look. I'm gonna be real. Favorites, yeah, it is New South Wales. Okay, Steve, Zen, Tatagane, all with a plethora of professional experience in this game. As does Exodus, though. However, I'm in love with Swaggy. All right, Swaggy has been one of the most fun players to watch. Always doing crazy things, crazy builds. He did say that this time around was going to be a bit more straight-laced. This is the playoffs. This is more serious. I don't care. I'm on Team Swaggy. This is where the upset happens. Let's see where we go.
No, I mean, I can't blame you for the builds. I think always interesting to see what car is going to come out next. 9 times out of 10, we can't even name the cars. They're that niche. But I tend to think that, I mean, he did say himself that we won't be seeing anything as crazy as tonight. You're right, with it being the playoffs with this much on the line. They do want to make it through to next week and minimize anything that could affect that. So it'll be interesting to see Swaggy in a normal car, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to be strange.
It is going to be strange, but I think, we'll see how it works out. I like the chaos because it also tells you you're in a good state of mind when you're willing to, bust out the fun cars, the clown cars. We'll see. We'll see how it does. Both teams have said they are ready to go, so we are moments away. It will be RMIT in orange. It will be New South Wales in blue. Will this blue side university, will they have a bit more luck than their rugby counterparts? We're about to find out. Game 1 underway.
I mean, kind of interesting thing to think about, Formal. It's like, why do we play in the cars that we play in? Why do I main the Fennec? Why does anyone, it's the car that you're used to, regardless of the hitbox or anything. You could play a completely wild car and be so used to it that becomes your main car, that becomes your norm. So I feel like Swaggy has said that he does main those unusual cars, so maybe switching to the Fennec or switching to the Octane, what Swaggy is in at the moment, might not be the best call.
Hey, my first time, hitting Diamond, right, was in the F1 car. Anything can happen. As we see a nice flick from Zen, and not able to put that one. Zen, of course, coming off of a very, very strong last regional. Didn't get quite as far as Lunar did in the last series, but definitely had a bit of a run as Steve. Oh, that placement, a little bit disgusting. 1-0 lead.
Like, Steve caught defense napping here a little bit, caught his own teammates napping as well. I don't think anybody expected that shot to come out top pins into that top right corner of net. No one was expecting it. Quick goal on the board for UNSW.
See Steve, slow dribble, actually gets dunked on. Swaggy will find another touch, throws it back down to Exodus. Oh, the pass a little bit too far forward. Fortunate there, as then we'll bring it back up the other way. Double time, no!
That was close. Again, more close doubles we're getting in these series, Formal, and definitely goes to show the caliber of the players we have. Zen does get that reset. I don't even know how to explain that one, Formal. We need to take another look at this. Gets a very strange reset, kind of gets it backwards, kind of fakes out that musty as well. The players I didn't know what was going on. The defenders didn't know what was going on. The ball's just going to get 50'd into net anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Zen was preparing for a 50, on the ground level after the reset. I don't think Zen was expecting all 3 defenders to kind of challenge and force it in. Worthy, though, will get a bit of redemption, just hitting a very narrow gap to find the first goal for the RMIT side.
Definitely brings that gap back within one. Zen. Steve did jump for that save, but Worthy just too quick there, putting it on that right-hand side of the net. Back to kickoff we go. It's gone the way of the orange side here. UNSW caught off guard a little bit by that kickoff, but Zen taking possession, gets the ball back to the midfield again. Tata's going to get the bang. It's going to go towards net. It hits that sidebar. Worthy gets the save off the follow-up as well. That was looking a bit dicey.
No, Rocket League as a game hasn't changed much since it first launched, right? It's pretty much still the same game. I can say, because of that, the greatest addition to this game in its entire history is that ding sound when it bounces off. I love it so much. Every time you hear that ping, oh, it's beautiful. I mean, I'm sure these players don't like it in situations like that, but for an entertainment point of view, fantastic.
When that first came in, I was slightly off topic here. When that first came in, I was that night I was playing some six womens in the women's league, and the girls started talking about it and being like, "Oh, this ding, it's so frustrating." I was like, "What ding?" I didn't notice it for a good solid couple of minutes into the game as the girls were talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, I like this." And I was the odd one out for me. I said I like it. I was getting a lot of no, it's bad, it's awful.
Well, I also noted you weren't complaining about my car's engine sound, so I think you're with me, and the annoying sounds are kind of fun. Here we go, Zed down the middle, a chance denied by Worthy.
I think I'm just a very uncharacteristically non-perceptive person for a caster. But I don't notice these things, Paul. I didn't even notice your engine was making weird noises, not gonna lie.
Oh, it's the screaming cats. Shout out to Kenny Salmon. Shot on, then... Oh, does I have to say it's going to be Steve instead.
Oh my. Zen gonna take this ball into the midfield. Lovely reset there to bring the ball up that little bit further. It's something I feel like we see a lot out of Zen, or maybe Zen in particular, but even the rest of the UNSW players. You know, in games you always see a reset used when there's a shot on goal, but not as often when you're just bringing the ball up the midfield. And I think it's something Zen does really well. It's even bringing the ball up the midfield, if you can read where the ball is going, you can lose possession. So getting that reset just in random midfield play can really, really help.
You know who's the other player who I see do that, and like really only one that I've seen do it on the regular is Caleb from Team Power. Caleb also does that a fair bit, and like actually also I think Fever does as well. But like, yeah, I don't know. It was one of those things that I noticed Caleb doing a couple years ago that immediately made me think that's really smart. This guy is going to be something special. So of course a veteran like Zen on top of that as well. It makes total sense. And again, another reason why this team is scary. Exodus, no, it was open, but overthinks that first touch.
It's definitely a higher level player skill. And yeah, Caleb obviously being a Spectacular Ones player, Fever being just a long-running Spectacular overall RLCS player. It's not something you see too often, but good to see it out of Zen.
Oh, here we go. 0-second play, shutdown. University of New South Wales. They had the early lead. It was enough to carry them through. They take game number 1.
A lot of back and forth play in that one. UNSW obviously coming out the winners, but only by 1 goal. It was a low-scoring game, 2-1 to UNSW. But I think that there was a lot of back and forth in that form. There were moments where RMIT was dominant, was keeping the ball in their own offensive half. They were really pressuring UNSW, and then there were moments when UNSW was able to take it back the other way and really threaten RMIT's net. So I think we will maybe see that pendulum swing throughout the rest of the series. Maybe, UNSW take this game and then RMIT takes the next. I think that they both have the potential to do that. Exciting to see RMIT maybe change their tactics. They're a very adaptable team, so I think that they will change things up a little bit here to be able to capitalize on UNSW's mistakes.
I have to agree with you. I think they will. I mean, it's surprising when Exodus doesn't have any shots. They have like impact on that game. I expect him to get more involved. I expect to see Swaggy again be a little bit more of that unconventional player as well. So they're kind of another one that I'm looking to again see step up. But as a whole, you can't be too upset with how RMIT played that game. I mean, they kept it within 1 goal. they gave up too early, but after that, it felt, back and forth. Neither team really threatening too much yet. Definitely was a feeling out type game. So game 2 will tell me a lot about RMIT's chances in the series. Based on what I saw from game number 1, though, should be close.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, I think there's a good chance that this entire series swings back and forth. But I think that, both teams have their own strengths, have their own weaknesses. UNSW weren't without their own mistakes throughout that game. That mistake off, I don't know if I'd call it a mistake, but defenders being caught off guard on that goal that Worthy scored into that right-hand side of the net. The defenders were on that right-hand side of the net. Worthy could have shot left and would have had a more open net, but went right, still got it past them. So definitely a good read on that play, and ultimately resulted in a goal for RMIT.
As we come back to the other side, Swaggy, not actually the one with it, it'll be Exodus instead. Flick midfield. Second touch, pretty good. AGON now across to the other side. Here comes Steve. Can't stay with that play. 4:30 remaining. I'm going to put you on the spot right now and go back to a conversation we had before. Okay? Talking about, great plays from Zen and Lunar and Fever. Caleb, who is your MVP right now for 2025 in Oceanic Rock? Now that the seasons are...
Oh, that's a good question. That is
Oh, Swaggy! See, if Swaggy hits that double, he's my MVP, hands down, right? Like, done. Don't care. Don't care about anything else. That would have been it. But didn't get the double. I don't know. Well, it's time to get another. But yeah, it's a tough ask with how competitive the top has been. Like, even within AEL, if I were to try to name an MVP of AEL this season, it would be Lunar. But, like, it's surprisingly close.
It's hard to not go with one of the wildcard players. It's hard to not go with, like, Banana Head, for example. Just given their track record, obviously TSM being our victors most recently, but wildcard having kind of the longer running streak throughout this entire year last year as well. You're right, I think it changes too much per open. I think it's hard to have a consistent MVP throughout this entire season.
I think the MVP for OCE is going to be whoever performs best at Worlds, and it's not whoever just missed this touch on the side ball. They're not MVP. Sorry. I was on the other side. I didn't see it on the replay. I didn't catch who it was. I think it may have been Steve. That's a bit unfortunate. Still, tie ball game now, 1-1. But yeah, I think MVP comes down to whoever does best at Worlds.
True. I mean, ultimately, when you're thinking about an MVP, obviously it's in the word most valuable player. You've got to hold your nerve in LAN situations as well. You can't just be strong online. You've got to be able to deal with the crowd and the nerves and the pressure that comes from being at an international level of gameplay. Being able to read international teams as well. I'm getting too distracted.
You can see the panic from everyone rushing back. I mean, this is a scary position for RMIT to be in right now. Steve just bumping and getting in the way time and time again. Still 2:43 to go. Tanagane backboard down. Steve not there. It's going to be instead Zen, who delicately taps it in.
Every single player, both defensively and offensively, was almost entirely boost-starved in that moment. You see Swaggy and Worthy there, both of them not having any boost. Exodus did go further upfield to find a few pads, but just not enough to keep UNSW out of that play at the moment. They were putting the pressure on for a while there.
So I am getting confirmation that I don't remember how much you remember from 2 weeks ago, where Swaggy did complete the group project. It was finished. So it was done.
He waved in the chat from his teammates and then telling us that he couldn't actually do anything just yet. No, I remember.
Yeah, well, the group project was completed. That's how come, Mom and Dad said he's allowed to play Rocket League tonight. All right, but still has the 9 o'clock bedtime, so we're getting the series done now. 2-1 at the moment. Steve across to Tanagane, who's looking to find Zenulus. Do they connect? No! Oh, they're usually so good at those plays. A little bit awkward. I liked what they were going for, but it doesn't work out. Up.
Oh, Steve's just going to dribble that ball around everybody and put another one on the board here. It does seem so far like a bit of a Steve night tonight, Formal, I think. Obviously, all three players on that UNSW side getting a goal at the moment, but I think Tada's been a little quieter than usual, and Steve has had a little bit more time and space to shine in this series so far.
Yeah, Steve is definitely had a few moments. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with Zen and the mechanics we've gotten out of Zen as well. Really all of the New South Wales team, though. This is why this team is so scary and why they're the favorite coming into this one. Like, yes, you can point to their loss that they had earlier in the season to Macquarie, and then they had a second loss as well. That was a little bit awkward to ON. But I don't know. Like, it's the team that you never really feel like is renowned. It feels like this team on paper should be the most complete, right? Like, yeah, Lunar might be the MVP of the season, and is definitely a force to reckon with. Akame as well has some moments. But it feels like all three members on this New South Wales lineup is either like incredibly proven, up and coming, and they're all so threatening. Look at that double! Like, this is from a retired player.
The pass from Tada as well to get that to Zen. The pace on the double for Zen to be able to read that and follow that up and put that into the left hand of the goal was amazing.
Actually, I haven't been on the internet as of like, did Zen drop another retirement post at the end of the last split, or is he still unretired as?
I want to say, honestly, no idea. My gut is telling me probably, though. The amount of retirement posts we get in OC, the amount of retirement posts we've had as Zen throughout the years, I would not be surprised in the slightest.
I mean, he still has his, like, pinned comment of this marks the end of my competing. Worthy gets another goal. It's 4-2. So Worthy still competing. That was just very nice play upon reflection. Kept it high and tight and dropped it right where it needed to go.
Yeah, falling from that roof, getting the reset and then using it very quickly, right? That split second to get it over that last defender into net was a very smart play. Bringing that deficit back a little bit here, but we've got less than 20 seconds, Formal. We need 2 goals, and right now, it's looking like UNSW are going to hang on to this lead.
Yeah, that it is. Here we go. Swaggy loses out on the 50. Exodus tries to rotate back off the roof. Doesn't get the touch. Ball just continues in the middle of the field. Swaggy now wants to go across. Tadagane swings and misses. Ball hits the ground. New South Wales does take it.
Definitely looking like they've found their groove a little bit here. Some excellent mechanics. You're right, out of Zen. Some really solid play out of Steve as well, and Tada's doing really well to kind of be that middleman. I feel like at the moment setting up those plays, not necessarily scoring the most, insane goals we've seen Tada score. We know what Tada is capable of, but being that middleman sometimes, being able to create those plays and set his teammates up for those goals makes all the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't really have anything negative to say about any of the New South Wales players. I think that one, the one kind of misread. Okay. It happens. RMIT still, unfortunately, weren't really able to keep with it. And this is interesting for me right now looking ahead. I feel as if RMIT, unfortunately, they're running into a New South Wales that is taking it to that playoff gear, which is always a scary concept. Steven Tadagane, defending champs. Zen has won Elite Series before. Granted, it was for Macquarie, but definitely kind of feels like an upgrade to this lineup. If these three are starting to click now, when it matters the most, like, again, the assumption is they're probably going to win the series and go to the finals. I am so keen for this team to take on Macquarie if they play it, because they're going to get a banger AEL Elite Series finals. But if RMIT can bring it back, well, hey, they deserve it too, and then that also is going to be a banger for a different reason. No pinch.
Oh, definitely. And RMIT, they are not a weak team. This team has played incredibly throughout the season. So to see the struggle that they're having against UNSW right now, like I said, it's not in terms of amount of goals on the board. They've been keeping into this game a little bit. Zen with a crazy shot from that sidewall. It seems like they're coming up against a new reborn UNSW at the moment, and it is so hard to beat these guys.
Yeah, to make the comparisons, it's the Championship Sunday wild card, right? When they start to really come through. Are they invincible? No. But are they difficult to beat? definitely, and we're catching that right now. Steve AGON, who wants to play with the play. Exodus kind of gets in the way. Oh, that's a cheeky little touch, but it's not it. What?
Oh.
Exodus, no!
Oh no, that was oh, that was on a silver platter almost after it bounced off. Obviously thinking maybe that it went in, but it bounced off the side. Oh,
The double ding.
double
The
ding.
double ding. Gridiron gives us the double doink. Rocket League gives us the double ding. It's never not entertaining, I suppose. Steve across that midfield line will get cut off. Worthy instead is going to be the one who wants to play the corner, gets a second touch. Anybody underneath? It's Swaggy. Oh, but that's not really the position for the double he was looking for. Pass down to Worthy. Tadagane's there. And all three members of Macquarie are now, of New South Wales are now bearing on the orange side of.
Yeah, definitely hungry for another goal, but it's going to go back the other way. Exodus trying to get on this ball at the moment. I feel like Exodus, I know we can usually expect a lot more out of Exodus than we're seeing tonight. There's so much potential in him as a player, but he's been struggling a little bit here. I think all three players from IMOT have been struggling in one way or another with this UNSW side, but Exodus in particular, I feel like has been a lot more dangerous in prior weeks, and I think if we can step up a little bit more here, it might help to keep RMIT in this.
I think it's good. Still close, and this is threatening. Worthy! Diving save. Ball gets pinched out. This opportunity again. I mean, that was the closest shot yet we've seen from RMIT, and now Zen just gets beat by Swaggy, who has nowhere else really to go. It's for the Exodus instead. Shots on. Steve's for the save. Also in a dangerous spot, but no one has the boost to go for it. Pass and clear, favoring the blue.
Tata gets the clear back down the other end. We've got one player beat here, though. A shot from Swaggy, kind of dunking that one down, but Tata was there for the save. It doesn't matter. Exodus heard us saying he needs to do a little bit more here. Comes in swinging on that net. Bounce from that sidewall from Worthy. Exodus comes in, puts it past Zen, puts it past Tata. We've got a tied ball game now.
High game, well placed, well shot, and I mean, look, we've seen RMIT keep it close. Just haven't been able to see them, finish the game. We will catch it here. Zen, controlled, tries to get it and does get it around Swaggy, who did enough to keep it away from the net. Now it's Exodus's turn. Like that second touch, back to the corner. Tadagane loses out. Here comes Swaggy. Shots on, but it's high, not in. Worthy backward again. Zen. Up underneath, Worthy goes across. Another 50 favoring this orange side. RMIT, they're really well positioned right now to try and put this one away.
Definitely looking like they could right now. They've got the pressure on at the moment. UNSW struggling to get this ball out. Tata gets the dunk on Worthy though on that sidewall, and we've gone back down the other way. A demo on Worthy as well. Takes one orange player out of this play. They can't get it. Sorry, they do manage to get it past them.
There we go. Exodus. Cross. Then backward. Here comes Swaggy. Ooh, okay. Wanted to slow it down. Didn't really work out just yet. Pass to nobody. Steve will burn boost to collect and just try to clear it as far down as possible. Anybody there? It is actually a 51 by Swaggy. Worthy looks to follow it up. Here we go towards the net. And it's collected by Steve.
Steve trying to get it past Exodus. Does get 50, but the ball stays in Zen's possession. He's going for that double. He goes too high on the follow-up though. Worthy back down the other way. He doesn't get the reset, I don't think. Steve's there to get the save anyway.
And a little bit awkward off the post, but Swaggy not in a position to finish, so it will be Steve who clears it out instead. 37 seconds left in regulation. Game feels very must-win for the RMIT side. They don't want to be 3 games down. However, Tadagane has other ideas.
Yeah, defense potentially getting faked out a little bit here by Zen, looking like he was going to go for that double. Worthy was watching Zen like a hawk, but didn't realize Tata was there to put that ball in the opposite side of that net. 1 goal up now for UNSW. 30 seconds left on the clock. RMIT need to get a goal right here.
Here we go. Swaggy to the quarter. It's Exodus instead. Tadagane. Deep clear. Oh boy. That's probably game 3 done. No, Zen doesn't get the touch. Worthy gets the save. Maybe, just maybe, there's one more chance.
Maybe, but Steve is hunting that net down. He doesn't secure that goal, but we do have 10 seconds left. Swaggy gets the clears. Steve gets in the way, blocking this ball at the moment, not giving RMIT that opportunity to put the ball back down the other way. He drops it down. UNSW win this third game.
That they do. A good win for New South Wales, and UNSW 1 game away now for something that their rivals in Macquarie were unable to do, and that is sweep their way through this semifinal. Granted, it was game 4 where we saw Macquarie kind of slip it up. We'll see if that's going to be the same for the New South Wales side. We kind of chill out. Right? Big match for MRT. They will be disappointed with themselves, I feel like, a little bit if they can't even get 1 game off of this blue side.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure they were expecting a game, if not the entire series, to take down UNSW here today. Very confident team, and like I've said in the past, you've got to be confident with Rocket League. You can't let any of these games, any of these losses get to you mentally. So I'm sure RMIT will be keeping that confidence up. Obviously, they're looking for the reverse sweep now if they want to take down UNSW. Definitely a tricky ask, but we've seen it happen before, Formal.
We have. I believe we've seen it a lot. Just ask Zen. What happened last RLCS? Got himself into the top 6 with a reverse sweep, so it could be a little bit poetic if it happened against them. We will see. Get geared up, ready to go. This is game number 4. We're not. Yeah, and we're right into it. Let's say, no pauses for a map swap. Oh wait, Utopia Coliseum is map 4. Too used to an admin for getting the map swap, and it's not the admin we have. That's all I've been. We got the.
Oh no. Ball is caught in the middle now, although Tata's going to go for this block. Worthy does get it past him. It is looking good for RMIT to get this first goal of the match. Steve gets it across the face of the net though. We're still in RMIT's half. They have managed to keep this possession for now, but Zen, with a little time and space, going to try and get this one out, and does look like he's going to manage to do so. Not just yet. Maybe Steve does though.
Yeah, but it's a very difficult approach right now, and a lot of resources being burned by the New South Wales side. Exactly as Swaggy is able to take it over the top, through into the corner. Not able to finish the play. He'll be saved now to the opposite side. Exodus. Oh no! Oh, the scary moment. Swaggy does stop Steve. Had the boost to really make that a threatening breakaway.
Taking it back into the corner now. Zen jumps off the ball a little awkwardly there, maybe not as planned initially, although Exodus does put this back into center. We're going to see a shot on net. Worthy comes with the follow-up as well after Swaggy, but nothing sunk just yet. Almost looking like it could be a goal for UNSW here. They've got this pressure on. Steve's going for the double. Goes a little bit too high though.
Too high. Here we go. Deep there from Exodus. Caught by Zen. Through the corner. Able to get that next touch. Worthy, baby. Oh, there was a chance for the shot there. Demos in front of the net tonight. Now Tadagane back the other way. Nice flick. Second touch is denied again by Swaggy, who Swaggy has been everywhere on the pitch this 4th game.
Absolutely. Has just, turn around in defense, all of a sudden in offense. Has that pace in the rotation at the moment, is getting in everybody's way. Worthy's going to get in the way of that one, though, in defense and take it back down the other end of the field, looking for the net himself, but Steve's going to get it out.
Going to keep with it as well underneath. We see another touch. Nope, it's Swaggy takes it back. Flick. Midfield. Worthy. No boost. Stay on it. Exodus touch though. Actually did a bit of work until Steve finds the perfect pass to Kagane. Back to Steve. Double touch to Zed. No.
All 3 players looking for each other in that plan. We honestly love to see it. I love seeing these very calculated team plays. The very early jumps, the pre-flips, seeking that ball. 1, 2, 3, but they've lost that smoothness in their rotation. A little bit of miscommunication here out of defense. Steve doesn't get that touch. Zen wasn't ready for the miss, and Worthy comes in to clean up that mess.
Yeah, awkward play from New South Wales, and it's similar to what we saw from, Macquarie, where game number 4, a little less, disciplined, I want to say. Giving up a couple opportunities, trying to do a little bit too much, and all of a sudden, we're 2 minutes left. It is a 1-0 game. Shot from Steve going to be saved. It's look, I think it's a lot easier for a team like RMIT right now to really park that bus and just play a strong defensive game and maybe steal this one.
Yeah, definitely. And you are right. It does kind of mirror that last series where UON did get that game off the back of Macquarie. Sorry, off the back of some unfortunate unforced errors that are typically uncharacteristic for Macquarie, typically uncharacteristic for UNSW as well. Steve goes a little high on that shot. It was so close. We heard the ding. Doesn't sink yet.
That was Tadagane who almost, in a desperate trying to stop the pass, almost gave the pass to the opponents themselves. Backboard play is there. Zen was getting a demo. Steve was too far back. It feels like New South Wales is close to the net. They're trying for this goal, but they keep getting denied on the line. Reset, Tadagane. Here comes Zen. No! Swaggy with the dunk! Saves this game!
A bump on Exodus almost gave UNSW another opportunity there, although they still have a minute left on the clock. There's still time to equalize, and they have got the pressure on at the moment. Tada now with a bit of time. Zen on that ball. Tada going up for the shot here. Does he get the bump on Worthy? No, Worthy gets the save.
That was a good play from Worthy right there. And what's interesting to me right now is it feels like for the past minute, it has been New South Wales upping the tempo, and Tadagane does get the goal.
Bar down. That is a difficult shot to save. Zen was there just in case it hadn't gone in. Was planning on getting a touch off the back of that backboard there, but nonetheless, that shot does go in. Bar down. Shot to Tadagane. 30 seconds left on the clock, and we are tied up.
We are tied. This is a dangerous position for RMIT to be in. New South Wales, they're going to try to end this in regulation. It will be Swaggy. Sidewall. Then, actually, a little bit of a free jump there that doesn't go their way, but now on the breakaway back to the other side, they might be able to find something. Exodus has to be very careful with this ball. Zen's challenge, pushes it towards Tadagane, lays it off the wall, going to look for the backboard. Worthy is there, ball falls in a safe spot, 7 seconds to go.
Yeah, Worthy just trying to be really careful with that ball and not get too hard of a touch to give that away and put it back in UNSW's in their possession. Sorry. Ball does touch down. We are going to go to OT. Off the kickoff, Tada does get the follow-up there on the cheat and sends it back down into UNSW's possession in their offensive half. Worthy's going to get this clear though, although we may see a bit of danger here from UNSW.
Oh, Zen wanted the reset. Doesn't find it. Tadagane now has Steve up close. Who has to burn to get to the side. There's a chance for Worthy to connect with someone underneath. It's Swaggy. Boost, though, was collected by the New South Wales team. Out of their own corner, Worthy off the roof gets a nice challenge. Follow-up wasn't there, and says Tadagane with the deep clear.
Worthy on this backboard gets a nice light touch to put that back downfield. Gets the 50 on Zen as well to make things awkward.
Oh.
Two of UNSW players jumping to that one. A little bit of awkwardness happening here. A little bit of a misread, but RMIT back on the hunt for this goal. Close, but Tada with the save.
Oh, and Exodus wanted to play the corner. Missed from Zen. But no shot was had. Steve does enough to get in the way, and now Zen puts it right into Worthy. Worthy has been so good with these midfield challenges since this overtime. Constantly the one shutting down any New South Wales counterattack from starting. It actually might be Worthy who finishes here. No, Swaggy doesn't get the flick. Fell off the play when Worthy had a shot across the middle.
Worthy getting in the way, left, right, and center at the moment would definitely be frustrating for UNSW players, no matter where they look or where they turn. He's just there in their face, getting a lot of 50s and resulting in possession for his team at the moment, setting up some of these shots. What was that? Steve just sat there. Honestly, it was the right play. Gets the read, gets the save.
Well, those are one of those moments where that's either going like the best save you've seen, or it's an own goal. There's no in between. Very fortunate for New South Wales. I thought Swaggy had it. Nearly 2 minutes into this overtime, here comes Zen. Again, Swaggy disrupts, but it still falls right to Steve. Worthy getting in the way. No boost on Zen. Has to play it off the wall. Tadagane tries to cut it off. Steve also with no boost, so low resources should mean a flip at the map.
Zen gets a touch there. I think he actually got a reset off the back of that touch, but didn't need it at that point in time. Tada in the corner here. Boost gets taken by Exodus, but Tada does get past him. Looking to get past Worthy as well. Looking like RMIT are going to hang on to this one for a moment longer. Oh, the pass from Swaggy looks good, but not quite where it needed to be.
New South Wales just looks a little unbalanced right now so far in this overtime. It has felt very much more RMIT favored, but that could all change with the play from Steve here. Has one reset. Oh, Scoop, though, falls right on the Exodus. Zen, too far forward. Gets beaten to the play by Swaggy. Exodus 50 across. No, Worthy didn't have the boost to go for the first touch. Reach up from Steve, almost gets underneath, but now it's Swaggy alone on defense. Zen just throws it right to him.
Yeah, Zen goes a little bit fast on that one. Gave Swaggy the easy read there. Steve looking for a shot, but Exodus does take that ball off him. Definitely a little bit of chaos, and you're right, Formal. It is an unbalanced UNSW we're seeing right now. They don't have the same kind of composure they had in the first couple of games. They're being tested on this goal line right now, just staying alive. They need to do better than just staying alive right now. They need to put the pressure on RMIT themselves.
Well, they could be doing it here. There was a chance underneath, but it's not found. Swaggy, again to the middle. Steve can only slow it down, but Worthy is there, as is Exodus. That's an awkward triple commit. Zen's going to pop it up. There should only be one defender with boost. It's Worthy. Exodus does rotate back in time. New South Wales wasn't in position to punish. Now, Steve, corner. Tries to slow play it. That's the pass back. Zen was a little bit too far back, but that's a miss from Exodus. Off the second touch. No, it's not in. Tanagane seals the deal. And that is Series 1 by New South Wales.
Oh no, Zen almost with the double here as well. It looks good. There's the double ding again. Formal hits that crossbar, hits the side of the goal as well. Doesn't matter though. Tata was there as backup, puts that goal in and secures this series for UNSW. Secures their spot in the grand final.
Yeah, that is a big win for the New South Wales side. They get the sweep, but again, UMON did what I kind of thought they would. They made it interesting. That was a lot closer of a series, I think, than our last semifinal, despite it being a 4-0.
Yeah, definitely. It felt very close, and honestly, my heart goes out to RMIT in that one because they did play really well, and had they played this kind of game they played today against UNSW maybe earlier on in the series, we didn't see this kind of rhythm out of UNSW. Like we were talking about, they've come back almost a bit of a new team, almost reminiscent of the UNSW we had as our champions last season. So definitely threw a bit of a spanner in the works for RMIT, but RMIT, they've done so well throughout this season, and it could have gone their way today, but it just didn't. UNSW, very deserving of the win. They played very well.
It was a well-played victory. So now, obviously, our attention kind of turns ahead to next week and sort of our expectations of what that final will be. Corey versus New South Wales. I mean, it's going to be a fun one, whichever way you look at it, for sure. It's tough to pick because I definitely feel Macquarie is the flashier team. They seem to be a bit more mechanical, maybe a bit more higher highs, lower lows. And historically, you kind of feel a consistent team, which could be New South Wales, will be the one that wins it out. But talent on Macquarie, I really don't know.
I think it's really gonna come down to just who's playing better on the day. And I know that's such a cop-out answer. It is such a cop-out answer. But we've seen how that can shift. We've seen days where, like I said, Tata in particular in that game, then I would say it was more of a Zen game. It was more of a Steve game. That's not to say Tata wasn't playing well, but all of these players have these moments where they shine. So it kind of depends on who's feeling that groove on the day and who's warmed up into the series. But I do tend to agree. Macquarie, they do have, I would say they have it over UNSW mechanically, and maybe experience-wise, but UNSW are a solid team, and it's really hard to call.
So Zen, welcome to the chat, by the way. You joined in right as Morgie claims that RMIT has the edge over you mechanically. Also, we have a guest in the background. Hello there. What's going on? How are you doing after that win?
I meant Macquarie. Did I say RMIT?
No, you just did.
Oh, I was like, did I?
Good comms, guys.
Well, sorry we don't have Tanagane, the comms king, on our team.
Tragedy, really. It's okay.
So, A, congratulations on the win. B, who's that behind you?
It's my brother, Matthew.
Hi. Wave it there. Let's talk that series. Obviously, big win. Congratulations on that. Now you're going up against your confirmed arch rival nemesis team that you can't stand, want to destroy, run in the ground, Macquarie.
Yeah, man, the
how are
beef
you
is
feeling
so
about
thick.
that match?
It's so thick. Oh my god, yeah. I just want to absolutely, yeah, beat them. Yeah. I mean, I guess we're feeling okay. Mechanically, I don't know, man. You're talking about the two-time winners on my team. So I mean, I won't be taking any slander against my teammates. Okay, they're not gonna get smashed.
No, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I mean, it'd be tricky coming up against the old roster, and they've been playing well. Macquarie has been playing well this season. Uh, were you watching? Did you watch the first series? They did drop a game. I was going to say, how do you think you would go if you guys had played them tonight?
I mean, all of us warm up. We could be in for a close game, I guess.
All right, then, real important talk right now. On Twitter, are you gonna unpin that tweet? We're hitting top sixes again in RLCS, back to an AEL Elite Series final.
Oh, I don't have my own computer.
That.
I don't have my own computer. How can I be a pro gamer if I don't have my own computer? This is my brother's computer.
Oh, so is that why he's there? This isn't a cameo. He just is like ready for you to get off.
Because he's waiting for me to hop off. That's the whole point. That's it. Like, I don't have a PC.
I was gonna ask what the situation was with that if you because I remember you saying that in prior weeks, and I was kind of thinking like, okay, have we got a PC now? Are we planning to?
He's nagging me.
Wait, can you? What's he gonna do? I think like what game is he playing? Like what does he need the computer for?
Oh, what are you gonna play, Matthew? What do you want to play? Yeah, he's a big Minecrafter, this guy.
Oh,
fair enough. Fair enough.
Maybe we should let him have his Minecraft.
Yeah.
One last question though, like genuinely, based on the successes you've had here, and you know the later successes that we had in this last RLCS season, are we seeing you again next year? Next season, like, are we unretiring?
Oh, no, it's a big toss-up. I think most of why I quit was because I wasn't confident in being able to juggle, like, actually hardcore uni schedule and actually, like, playing games, like, basically full-time. But, I don't know, I feel like I've got a better grasp on it now, and, I don't know. The only reason I played this regional, actually, was because Shugs just got kicked from his team, and he was like, I need someone to play with. I can't be playing with no one. So yeah.
That was so that entire run getting into the top 6 was for Shugs, and you got him. That's
yeah, it was entirely because he needed a team. So we just picked up last minute replacements. And I think after day 1 when we went to lower bracket in the quals, I think Nasi had to go because he had his mate's birthday party on. So there was a chance that we never actually played beyond that. He came back, touched up,
and all the way to that top 6.
And then we lucked out.
I'm not calling that luck. It isn't. Reverse sweeps aren't luck. That's all I'm gonna say. That luck.
Oh no, the round before groups was pretty luck. It was I think we got a DQ against some team that like was definitely gonna beat us. So we got
the fight in the West. That's right.
Yeah,
that was,
top 8 run was good. That was actually like that was pretty good.
Excellent stuff. In that case, look, we'll get your brother on the computer. Congratulations again on the final. And have a good one, man.
Bye.
Thanks, Ed.
Bye.
Honestly, I don't blame the brother. I have siblings. My brother got me into gaming, and had my brother been on my PC, I couldn't care what it was for. I'd be like, get off! It's my time. I'm gaming right now. I get it. I get it.
I was just watching the hand and just watching the nervous energy. I'm like, oh, he's jonesing. He's jonesing to go find some diamonds and the likes in that situation. Oh man,
yeah, was not waiting.
No. Good eggs, good family though. Obviously, well done to them getting that win. We have our finals now. Macquarie taking on New South Wales. Also, our third place match will be the match right before it. UON taking on RMIT. Each of these matches will be happening next week, Morgan. They're going to be.
Oh, absolutely. This will be super exciting, and I think we looked at these lineups at the start of the season without seeing any of these teams play. Probably would have put Macquarie and UNSW in this final. UNSW being our champs from last season. Macquarie being Macquarie, I think it's going to be a spectacular game, and I'm so excited to watch this one.
I'm excited as well to watch our third place match, which will be coming after a bit of a extended break. We have to wait for the third place match to figure out who's going to be playing, so stick around. We will be back. We still have a third place match. all smiles here at AEL as we get ready for our third place match in the Open Series. And Morgie, we haven't seen any of the Open Series so far. I was expecting our Elite Series teams that had been down there to, step up and make some Open Series runs, but no, two completely new teams for us about to go at it. It's going to be Deacon versus Monash. However, I do see a couple familiar names. One in particular, Fergo, straight from the high school league, playing for Mentone, all the way to the AEL Open Series and maybe an Elite Series debut next semester.
It's impressive. And yeah, always love seeing some of the high school league players come up to the university series. Good to see those familiar names and yeah, can see how they progress throughout the season.
Yeah. So unfortunately though, when it does come to these types of events, we have no idea what to expect from these teams. It could be a plethora of skill level of wacky plays. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but I get excited about that when this happens. So Deacon, Monash, it's going to be fun. If you were to ask me for a prediction, I guess Monash because there's the player I recognize.
Oh, absolutely. But Formal, I gotta say, none of this is possible. None of this is possible without our sponsors. So I've misplaced. Do you want to take that away for me?
Oh, you don't want to thank the sponsor? I will thank the sponsors. I will, because you know what? They deserve the respect and the admiration, and without them, none of this is possible. How could you forget the sponsors, Morgie? I cannot believe you. AGON by AOC is the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. The world, all right? They provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. Not to mention Indomie, our noodle partner, the greatest noodle partner in the world as well, made with the highest quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie will brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au.
How could I forget that, Paul? How could I forget our two sponsors, especially Indomie? I definitely didn't have a plate of noodles before we came on broadcast here. How could I forget our noodle partner? I don't know what I was thinking, but definitely glad to have them on board to make all of this possible. I'm sure the players are grateful as well. We love talking about noodles and making ourselves hungry on cast anyway, so always happy to have a bit of a chat about them.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we've kind of, we've messed around for a little bit. Let's get ready to get this game underway. A quick look at the lineups again before we kick this one off. Obviously, the big one I'm keen on, Fergo on that Monash side. Psycho certainly seems to be a character, though, on the Deacon side, so I'm curious, if they can back up some of the things they were saying. This is going to be an interesting season.
Definitely. I can't say I'm too familiar with any of these players, but I'm familiar with one of these unis. One of these is my home university, so I may be a little bit biased going into this one. I don't know, Formal. But
Monash or Deacon?
I was a Monash kid. Years ago. Years and years ago. Fantastic uni, but do their players live up to the standard? Formal, that's my question. Like I said, I haven't seen these two teams before, so my heart's in it for Monash at the moment, but Deacon could run away with this one. I don't know.
Are you still in contact much with the Monash University?
I get alumni emails and that kind of thing. I actually, funny enough, considered contacting one of my old lecturers the other day. One of my old Japanese lecturers, just to speak about a few things work-wise, get some advice on some stuff. So yeah, definitely don't mind contacting them back. Very warm and friendly and open to doing that when needed.
So I was leading that into a funny Monash story, but then I realized it was Murdoch, not My bad. Anyways, let's get ready to kick this one off. They're different states, like entirely opposite end of the country. Murdoch's in WA.
Oh, yeah, really far away. Hang on a second.
Yeah, whoops. Oh, well, they start with the M's. Murdoch is not in this finals. It is Monash. It is Deacon. I think it is going to be a fun finals as we get ready to go for this matchup. A best of 7. Yes, Open Series. They get the best of 7s as well. I think again, look, it's been a long day. This is always the last series of the day is always fun. Look at that, cars are already flying around for no reason off the kickoff.
It's definitely hard being the latest series of the night. I don't blame the players. Me being an old woman, I struggle with casting. If you guys actually go back and listen to this cast, I sound fine in the first series, and then the later it gets, the more jumbled my commentary gets. I won't even be talking about Rocket League by the end of the night. Who knows what you're going to get out of us in the next 30 minutes. But for now, our commentary is matching the gameplay at the moment.
Also, I'm sure I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, but these two teams have also already each played today and lost. So they're coming into this one having lost a best of 7 to get into the third place, right? So it's like sort of an odd place to be in for them. We'll see what they look like so far. I mean, there's been a couple overcommits, but also some decent touches on each side as we watch Fauna make it into the corner, looking to set up Psycho. Shot was high. There were a couple defenders in net, so I'm not surprised he didn't put it on target.
Definitely not where he was wanting that one to be. Obviously, defenders sweating a little bit there, but probably pretty glad that that ball went decently high. Blue on the sidewall now trying to get this ball centered, but Fergo dunks that. Brooks? I don't want to mispronounce people's names, but I'm not used to a few of these names on field at the moment.
I think it'd be like Rue.
Rue?
I don't like. Not sure. I do know that it is Nick, Virgo, and I like, but I don't know if that's correct. Then it's Bluey, Fauna, and Psycho on the other side. Speaking of Fauna, they won't get that shot. Also, people want to shout out that we'll talk more about the finals match at the end of this, but I believe it is going to be QT versus LK University. That's next week though. This week we have these.
This week we have these two teams, and if anybody knows, if anybody in chat, if anybody in chat can correct our pronunciation of any players' names, please do let us know. Much appreciated. Almost a shot on net there from Psycho, but we have it saved by Monash. Not for long though. Deacon comes back firing with another one.
That is a good goal right there for Fauna. Production's very unhappy with my pronunciation of Latrobe. But maybe production should pay for my education. Maybe then you'll see me on one of these teams instead. As we see Rux trying to take a shot from the side, but can't quite get it in.
Rux, I'm looking at chat at the moment. We've got Rorex, we've got Rux, Rox. There's a few variations. I'm gonna go with Rux. I feel like it looks like a Rux to me. I could be wrong, and I'm happy to be corrected on that. But nonetheless, ball has gone to this sidewall. Fauna with the center. Can't get it past Nick though. Has sent it to that backboard. No teammate there for the follow-up. Does get the demo. Takes one defender out of play. No one there to take the shot.
There we go, Psycho. Across the midfield line for a go. Oh, just caught out! And that's going to be a 2-0 lead for the Deacon team.
2-0 already. They're looking like they're really on point at the moment. Virgo just jumped a little bit too late for that save. We wasn't ready for it either, and Deacon with another one on the board have a decent lead at the moment. Still a minute 50 left on the clock. So anything can happen, but if they can hang on to this lead, then they'll take this game.
When somebody comes up with the name RURX, like they just hit those letters and never thought anybody would try to
I'm sure it has some kind of meaning behind it, but there have definitely been players, Formal, where, you know, when we've been casting, or there's been moments in RLCS where I've seen player names and just thought, you just don't like the casters, do you? You're trying to make our lives difficult. I can feel it. I 100% believe that is the motivation behind some name choices.
RURX sounds like a graphics card, right? So maybe that's the inspiration behind it. As we see some shots come on across the middle of the field, not going to go in. Brooks over the middle, a bit too far, leaves it for Nick. Actually, kind of got bumped off the play. Second challenge goes in favor of Louis, who throws it back down straight to Ruix, who just puts it in. Oh!
Oh no, Oh, no. Bluey with that pass. Rurks sending that to the crossbar. Psycho goes for the save. Accidentally own goals it. Could have been crossbar and out, but the own goal secures that one for Monash, and they've now got a goal on the board and closing that gap.
Yeah, far down and in, just on the wrong team. A little bit awkward there, but hey, goal secured, I suppose. Still 40 seconds, no harm, no foul if Deacon can hold on, but with the reset, here comes Fergo, diving save by Fauna on the line.
Very, very close. Fergo almost had that equalizer. Monash looking like they need to do something quick, smart if they want to get that equalizer, though. If they want to take this game to OT, Fergo's trying to get it into the corner. Psycho gets a massive clear down the other end, though.
As we see, Fauna as a peek doesn't commit. It will be Bluey. Light touch wants to stay underneath it. 10 seconds remaining. The bump helping buy time. Last chance, though, coming for the Monash team. Fauna may have just taken it away with that clear. Two defenders are in the net, one of which has no boost. Bluey just needs to escort the ball to the ground. They don't get it down yet, and then nobody got underneath it.
Yeah, Monash kind of just letting that ball drop there. It definitely was in the air for long enough for someone to get to it, for someone just to pop it up into the air, keep it alive for a little bit longer and try and go back down the other way. It seems like they kind of gave up a little bit there, letting Deacon put that one down. Deacon winning this first game over Monash.
That was a big first win for the Deacon side, and I think they're going to be a little bit happy. Monash maybe a little bit frustrated that they weren't able to complete the comeback after the own goal situation, but realistically, when you look at the shot count between the two teams, Deacon, they were a bit more controlling. Yeah, there was a couple moments across the midfield where we did see Monash, in the individual play, really got them back in it, but after that, it wasn't good. Okay, so we just asked Rurix how to pronounce his name, and his response was, "I'm not sure."
I was looking at that chat trying not to laugh just then. I had my eyes glued to it. I was like, please tell me. And I see I'm not sure. I was like,
that means it's free game. That means we could call them whatever we want. So I like Rux. I like Rux. I'm gonna go with Rux.
Rux. Okay. If you're going with Rux, I'll keep it consistent.
They are now and forever
not gonna get
known as Rux. This goes back to what I was thinking before, right? We'll play that you come up with the name, it looks cool, and never expect anybody to
Don't expect to be on cast and confuse the casters. Who could have foreseen that?
Yeah, but now we still doing a little bit of a server swap as we get ready for our next game. So we'll be ready for the server swap, and then we'll get right back into it.
That's it, just making sure everything is set up well and all the players are happy with the server not having any issues. We don't want anyone to have any lag or anything that could affect their gameplay. We want intense, tight games out of this series, so as best as we can possibly get it.
Hopefully should get back shortly. Again, same ROCS map rotation, so I imagine it will be lean and thorough, I suppose. We need to be a little bit more critical watching these teams too, because I just realized because they hit top 4 in this open series, that does mean there is a chance. I'm not sure in the entire seeding process, but we could be seeing them in the elite series in the future. Like, these could be teams in that elite series next semester. We could get very familiar. Like this is why we really need to make sure we pronounce Rux correctly.
True, actually, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that before. I was thinking, oh yeah, we haven't seen these teams because I think correct me if I'm wrong, Formal, last season, our third place match, I feel like all the open series we did cast in the playoffs, like right at the end of the season, were all of our elite teams that dropped down. I think all four teams were all 4 elite teams that dropped down. Whereas this time we're seeing someone new. It's exciting.
It is seeing 2 new teams realistically. Like, it's super exciting, and I like this little bit of a mix-up. I'm a little shocked that we're not seeing Griffith or UTS make it through. Because I thought those were strong teams, but yeah. Who knows? I am not the seed master. I do not farm. I stay indoors, hide. a lot of the time, so I am not the one responsible for the seeding in that regards. Direct all your complaints about not being put in Elite Series. Wow, preemptive production preemptively thought I was going after them. That was cool.
You baited production pretty hard with that one. You can hear BK fuming in the background, and then Formal blames me instead. So there you have. I don't know why I'm not fuming. I found that.
I've already convinced the
Please do
players
not.
I'm BK, so you know. I've caused enough mischief already in this series. Let's get ready to go, though. We're back onto the map. It's game number 2. This will be a fun one. Deacon already up by 1. Looking for their second, although it is Nick off the kickoff and Psycho who takes it away.
Looking for that 50 on Fergo, does manage to get it, takes the boost pad off him as well. Fergo now left with nothing. Rux looking to get that 50, gets the 50 across the face of the field, gets it to Fergo, looking for that shot on net, but can't turn it into an opportunity just yet.
Not yet, but there's still time. Rux looks to throw it back to Fergo. They don't connect just yet. Louis will be the one. Back to the other side of the field. See Nick drop it down. Psycho's there around the corner. Rux to Fergo. It's actually Fauna who put the shot on, but couldn't quite get it into the net yet. Another opportunity for Bluey, and that time it's good.
Yeah, the ball just very slowly dropping in front of net here. I think Fauna did very well to keep this one alive. Over the defenders, Rux jumps for that save. Can't get to it in time though. Deacon on the board early again.
Yeah, early lead, and that's where they want to be. See the next kickoff. Go ball on the line. Whoa, everybody dives for the ball. And it leaves Fauna alone on the goal line to Bluey, and they get the deep.
Nick gets that center, gets it off in the back of an EU, touches well to Rux. We are going back down the way of Monash now. Off the roof comes Fergo, looking for that pass maybe to Nick. Can't get the shot off. Rux is going to keep it alive, though Porter's going to try and take it to that corner and get it out. Defenders have fallen back, so maybe a little bit of time and space on the attack again. Ball's caught in the corner. Porter jumps for that one. Psycho does manage to get the ball out, though.
Yeah, but here comes Nick. Takes it towards the net. Able to get the goal this time as we now Rux get the double off the backboard. Put it in. I just realized a problem with our naming convention.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nick's is spelled like Nickix, but they're pronounced Nick. Nick. Which means the X is silent. So the X has to be silent for RAR as well. So it's the X is silent.
Anyone watching this cast where it sees RURX on screen and we're going, oh yeah, Raw's gonna hit the ball.
Yep.
Just like,
well, they're also going to see NYKHX on screen, and it's like, oh yes, Nick.
They really aren't making it easy at all, are they?
Well, here comes Norsh, cut down by Fauna, as we watch Bluey come around the corner. A little bit of a disruption there. Still half a game to go here in game number 2.
I mean, look at Psycho's name as well, and Fauna. I mean, at least they're matching. I don't mind that. I don't mind the matchy.
I actually like Green Typhlosion's suggestion in the Twitch chat that all the letters are silent. just a silent team. That would be the worst. Like that would be the worst if like a team submitted and did their names were just 1, 2, and 3. Like the numbers.
I feel like what would be worse, or what I do see like fairly often in ranked, is someone whose their name's just a full stop or a dot. Like, what would you call them dot at that point? Like, how do you cast that?
Period.
Full stop. I'm not saying full stop hits the ball. Like, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, it's I mean, there's that one, and there's the one where, like, you know, you have different characters, and you just get a barcode, post, not in. It was only one ding, though. It was one loud ding. We didn't get the double ding. A little disappointed by that. That's okay. Fauna, side wall, second touch. Nope, not there. Okay, nope, couple misses. There we go. Nick into Bluey, who has no boost. Rar underneath, just rolls it in.
complete open net at that point. Deacon defenders here. Bluey goes for that block, does get it, but everyone's just pushed up way too high, and without boost as well. You can see Psycho chasing that one back towards net, but doesn't have any boost in the tank to gain that speed to make it back for the save. And Monash, they've equalized the second game.
They have really well done. But Paradox Hog just put at it. You could also have, 1-1-1 take on 2-2-2. That would also be a bad day. Yeah, names could always be a lot worse. Here comes Bluey to the backboard. Second touch, not in. Wanted that double. Oh.
Maybe an opportunity here for Monash, but Deacon defenders ready for that opportunity. Bluey going up for this double. Almost sinks it. Nick with the double save as well in net. Wowee.
Yeah, Bluey just like, if I'm not going scoring, nobody on my team is right there. That was, a little bit awkward for a Deacon side. That would have been up 2 games in this third place series. A big moment denied by their own team.
Did Nick not get the double? I thought there was a double save off Nick. Was that Bluey's save?
That was off Bluey.
Oh no. My eyes are deceiving me. Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, man. We go to an overtime instead. Let's see what they can bring. A tough break. Still time, though. Kickoff. Actually, a little more even than initially thought. Psycho, though, still gets it to the backboard. Bluey has boost underneath. Not really a good approaching angle, though. At least not one for a shot. And Roar is going to win in the defensive side of things and clear the ball back.
Ball back in Bluey's hands now, trying to get it past Fergo. Gets a nice 50, dunks that ball towards net, but there seems to be a rotation amongst these defenders right now, just trying to get this ball out away from Monash and not give them another opportunity. Get a massive clear from Psycho, looking for a teammate, but no one there for the follow-up Formal.
Anna goes sidewall, lit of traffic, but Psycho still finds it. We watch Roar now try to create some space with Fergo. Pass goes over Nick's head. Bluey with boost. Should be able to actually get something here. Fakes a musty to the corner where Psycho gets there next. It would have been a good pass had he had a shot. Instead, it comes flying back the other way.
We've definitely seen a little bit of a peep of mech out of some of these players so far, but I feel like rotation just seems a little bit off with both teams at the moment. Just not ready for those kind of follow-up touches, those goal securing second man kind of plays after the initial first man shot. And I feel like if they can start to bring that in a little bit tighter, then we'll see a few more of these goals sink.
Yeah, we'll see what they will piece together as Fauna just puts one in. There you go. Overtime over. It's Fauna.
Deacon securing this second game over Monash. Raw looking like he was trying to clear that ball, didn't clear it quite far enough, and Fauna secures that shot as well. Deacon now up 2-0 in this series over Monash.
That was just an odd goal. I don't know why. It felt like, Monash in the past would have been able to rotate through and save that. Fauna just puts it on target, gets around the one defender. Fair enough. Deacon up 2-0 in the series. And now we're starting to worry a little bit, I think, if we're on the Monash side. Because Deacon is, they feel, again, a little bit more like the more composed team right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think both teams are making a fair few mistakes at the moment. Maybe maybe a little bit shaky. Maybe it's the nerves of playing for third place at the moment. Both teams clearly want it, but those unforced errors are leading to goals. I feel like, the goals have been off the back of unforced errors at the moment rather than off tactical plays. And I think whichever team can kind of compose themselves here, which is it's looking like Deacon at the moment, to shake off those nerves, to stop making those kind of mistakes, can run away with this series. So it all kind of falls down to whether Monash can rise to that occasion, I think. But at the moment, it is looking like a Deacon-sided series.
It is looking very good for Team Deek, but see if they are able to keep that momentum going. Again, they still got to do it 2 more times in this best of 7, and I've still seen plenty 2-0s turn into 4-2s the other way. All you need is one dramatic shift of momentum. However, recovering from a own goals, not recovering from the double touch save on their own shot, I think speaks a good volume on where Deacon is at. And, yeah, I'm with you. It does feel very heavily favored for them.
Oh, definitely. The recovery after that, though, it you know, testament to any team's kind of mental, the strength mentally to come back from mistakes like that and kind of, you know, just brush them off and go next. And that seems to be exactly what Deacon have done at the moment. We're all looking like he was in a little bit of trouble there. Deacon putting on the pressure again offensively, not the clear that Monash was wanting. Ultimately, they have managed to get this ball out of danger for now. Maybe not quite yet. Blue shot goes too high.
Too high, but Psycho's there, and that shot's on target. Good save by Nick, coming out through the goal to push that one back to the other side. That was a scary moment, and oh no. Does that fall in? Yes, it does!
Bluey gets credited for that shot here, all the way back down almost the other end of the field. Virgo does get dunked by Bluey up in the air. Long, wide shot from the other end of the field goes in, and Deacon are up by 1 with just over a minute gone.
Just over a minute out of the way, but still plenty of time in this one. Here comes Virgo. Dribble shot. Nope, it's a demo on the goal line. Now Fauna looks to bring it back. Go down by Roar and Psycho. Just puts another one towards the net, but not go in just yet. Bluey. 50. Goes to the side. Roar is actually the third defender this time around. Thought they were going to go up to challenge because they had the boost. They don't wind up using it in effective play. Now, though, we get the save as it's Virgo out of the net. On the corner again. Here we go. Fada looks for Psycho. Passes a little bit short. Now we do get to see Psycho again. They get that 50 towards the goal. Morgie, are you back with us?
I am back with you. I am indeed. I went to sneeze before and I muted my mic for a split second and forgot to unmute it because, of course I did. I started casting just then, or I started play-by-play, and you just cut me off, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, well,
I
look.
just realized I'm muted.
Trust me, I'm not rude intentionally. I do tend to put my foot in my mouth as Ferg. No! Oh, Ferg, no. That was open.
Oh.
That was the equalizer Monash needed.
That was exactly what they needed. Monash do not want to lose this game. They don't want to be in a position where they have to reverse sweep. It is a tough feat for even the most mentally strong teams in the league. But for this is not what you want to.
No, not ideal. I think actually watching the replay, I think that came off Psycho. I think I saw a moniker above a blue trail. I'm trying to be nice. But if it didn't, it looked like it was possibly going to be an own goal regardless. Look, that was this is a rough series right now. Rough game for Monash, but it's only 2 points. They can bring it back. They just need more opportunities, I think, first and foremost. And they're getting them on this attack right here. Like, I can't say I'm watching Deacon and being like, yes, their defensive rotations are clean and organized. They're chaotic as well. Case in point, Psycho right there, barely bailing them out. But the problem has been Monash has just been struggling to get out of their own half whenever it's on the other side of the... Oh.
I mean, Monash, they have had some opportunities, you're right, but I just feel like Deacon have managed to throw their cars on the line wherever they can. They are playing that more chaotic game, but they're playing it better at the moment. The 50s, it's honestly, I'm more looking at the physical game at the moment. It's the 50s, it's the dunks and that kind of thing that both teams are aiming for at the moment. It seems to be both teams' play style at the moment, but Deacon just have it better down pat.
So with that last goal, if you're Nick, are you just better off not hitting the ball and just letting it go in as Bluey's going to pull the cutoff, get a goal, 4-0 lead?
Potentially. I mean, maybe yes, but you gotta try, I guess.
Yeah, you got to try. You're right.
You gotta try at the end of the day.
You can't concede it. You got to keep fighting till the bitter end. And well, game 3 is definitely going to feel very bitter for the Monash side. Deacon now just again, we called it at the end of game 2. You called it specifically, and I think it became even more apparent in game 3. It's capitalizing on unforced errors.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I feel like they're starting to see that in Monash at the moment as well. They're recognizing that. They've even sped up the gameplay a little bit, I would say. Deacon, rather than sitting, I mean, I've said that right, as 2 players are sitting in net, but they haven't been sitting back as far as they were the first couple of games. And I think kind of putting that pressure on at the moment is forcing a few more of those mistakes out of Monash. That's exactly what Deacon wants right now.
Here we go. Shots not on. Oh, it's a swing and a miss. Fortunately for Nick right there. Here comes Psycho back to the other side. Ooh, a little tricky. Looking for a musty. Didn't quite get all of it, but that's okay. The pressure was still put on. Under 30 seconds remaining before we head to game number 4 and what could be our final game of the evening.
Yeah, definitely looking like it could go that way at the moment. Deacon taking Monash out 4-0 in this game is definitely a statement for them to be making. Like they've found their momentum a little bit more than Monash have in this series. And Monash, like I said before, they're going to have to pull off a reverse sweep to take this series off Deacon, to take that 3rd place position. It's just looking like it's getting more and more difficult as the games go on.
Yeah, no, it is Deacon looking stronger. Monash making more and more slip-ups, as you just said. I'm repeating you because what else really is there to say after that game? Deacon, we're the stronger team. They get the win. 2 goals for Bluey and for Psycho. Now it is match point. Deacon 1 away from a clean sweep.
I do have to say as well, Deacon's defense has been, I mean, obviously it has been better, but it has been pretty good. I'd say in that game in particular, Monash, it's not like they haven't been putting shots on target. They've had 6 shots that game compared to compared to Deacon's 10. 6 shots, not bad, but to not have converted any of those shots to goals, I think is definitely speaking lengths about Deacon's defense at the moment. They're rotating well in and out of net. Players are sitting back post where they should be, so that they need to, jump across the net and actually have that momentum going into the save. They've got that. They've got those diving saves, which Monash seem to be struggling with in defense at the moment.
Yeah, I can agree with that assessment, so we'll see how it plays out. Moving ahead, here we go. Our 4th and potential final game. There are ways to get back in it, but the thing is, Morgie, without, I'm going to assume there's no coach. I'm going to assume at this situation, how well can this team actually adjust their style and implement what you're saying on the fly? I think that is a very difficult skill to learn, especially from an open team that we're kind of learning about right now. We'll see if they're going to be able to figure it out, but if not, which I'm kind of expecting, unfortunately, at this time and place, it did not be the case. It should be a D.
Yeah, I think it's time and experience, and it's definitely a learned skill, as you've mentioned, but Deacon, defense lacking a little bit at the start of this game. Bluey jumps for that one, completely misses. Fauna can't get there in time without any boost. All Rourke has to do is just hit that ball on target. No defenders in sight. And Monash are up early in this 4th game.
Even if Bluey hits that, though, I'm like, I think that's still a goal, actually, for Monash, because there was no one there to follow up the touch. That looked to be going towards, like, their own side. I don't know. That was a weird thing. And we mentioned this before. The defense for Deacon, their rotational defensive play is not the greatest, unfortunately, and it leaves them exposed sometimes. Here we go, though. All 3 pushing forward right now on the Deacon team. They just... these are 2 unusual teams.
The gameplay is I guess the rotations are a little bit unusual. And they're teams we're not familiar with, the teams we haven't seen a whole lot of gameplay from in the past, but they're teams who have taken down our Elite Series teams who dropped down Formal. So at the moment, Monash not ready for that one coming out of Deacon, though. Bluey secures this goal for Deacon.
Yeah, just a half-hearted challenge in the corner. Work done by Psycho. Gets that last moment touch over the top of the defense. Sets up Bluey for the goal. Really well done. Kickoff. Ooh, kickoff strats. Demo. And it still nearly turns into a goal. Psycho absolutely mugging the defender right there, who I believed was Virgo. And so it was Nick. Either way. Pinch. Oh, scary moment, but Psycho was there.
Ball's caught in this corner. Fauna's trying to get that centered, but can't quite read that ball. Nick goes for the dunk as well. Virgo tries to put a shot on net, goes a little wide, and Fauna is there ready for that read. A shot from Rurks goes astray as well. Monash definitely putting the pressure on here. Deacon just fighting for their lives at the moment, trying to get this ball out of their half. Psycho might be able to do this, not yet. Fauna will though.
Seeing Psycho as Fauna with the reset to Psycho. No, not quite. Seeing Psycho on the pitch, I am familiar with the EU Psycho, right? So I'm still trying to adjust to the change. Like, no, this is OCE Psycho. They use a K in their name and a weird looking U. But the thing is, the EU Psycho is the one who invented the shot. So every time I've seen the ball off the backboard, I'm just waiting for this Psycho, to step up and make that shot.
Waiting as we almost saw Luna do early tonight. We've seen what can go wrong when you attempt a Psycho. It can result in no goal sometimes. So maybe not the best kind of shot to attempt now. Try to win this series, but no, I don't blame you. I exact same thing. I keep saying Psycho and my brain keeps thinking of the shot. So
yeah,
one of those names.
We'll see if they get a chance. As Psycho swings to the miss this time, but Bluey should be there and get a little bit of a reset towards the net. Here we go. Nope, denied out of the goal. Fauna goes off the sidewall, and now back to another shot. Bluey puts it up high. Fauna, light touch, but can't get it past Roar. Also with Bluey, every time I see Bluey, I feel like they should be on a Queensland team. I digress. Shot into the corner.
I just like the fact that Deacon are the blue side here today, because every time I say the name Bluey, I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense. Wouldn't make sense if they were the orange side, so fair enough. Good choice there from production.
Oh!
Oh! Where'd that come from?
Bluey with no boost just went the entire length of the pitch, and then a nice flick at the end gets it in. Where was the rest of the defense, Morgie?
Not quite rotated back to where they needed to be, but in saying that, I feel like had another defender been there, would have still been taken over by that flick anyway. That was definitely a beautiful flick, and to achieve that without any boost as well is quite impressive. I'm sure Monash realised that Bluey didn't have any boost and as you know, weren't expecting that, so definitely a nice goal to see in this match.
Yeah, let's go from corner to corner. Here comes Bluey. Nope, actually not taking the shot. Going to go to the corner instead. Gets demoed for their trouble. Near own goal for Rurks. And that just sets up Fauna to possibly put this series away.
Started with this pinch from Bluey on that sidewall as well to pass the ball into center. Even though he didn't take the initial shot, was definitely a smart move to do that, looking for a teammate. And you know, I was saying before that rotations have seemed a little bit off. It was good to see that both second man and third man for Deacon were there ready for that one. Definitely good to have them there to clean up that shot after the initial pass.
Go though, as we go up high, ball going more towards the middle of the field. Nick is there, finds Virgo, wants to throw it back down to somebody. Can't though. It's going to be Fauna across. Backboard. Down. Nope, no shot yet. Psycho not staying with it. It's going to be Bluey instead. First touch was okay. Virgo back to the other side. Loses out on that 50 as well. Still, that's it. Not enough time on the clock. It's going to be a Deacon victory. They're going to take third place in the Open Series.
That's leaving Monash in fourth as well, so congrats to both teams for making it here today. But yeah, it was just Deacon edging Monash out in this one. In this series, definitely Deacon playing as the more dominant team. Like we said, both teams kind of having a bit of a chaotic play style. Maybe something we're not as used to seeing, but ultimately it's worked out for Deacon. They've managed to compose themselves within that series and taken this series 4-0.
Good. Strong showing, and again, hoping to see more of the Deacon Dragons in the future for sure. Maybe they'll get that invite to the Elite Series. Maybe they have proven their worth. Same with Monash, though. We'll see how these teams look at moving forward. So, I mean, again, two universities with a deep history in collegiate sports. So, well, hopefully, I'd like to see, especially again, you know, knowing Virgo's history through AEL as well. I want to see more. Token, but Deacon got the job done. 4-0. I'm a little bit surprised it was a 4-0, but at the same time, hats off.
Yeah, definitely. You know, just speaking to you guys about it and speaking to production about it, and knowing that these two teams, like I said, both took down some of our Elite Series teams who dropped down to play for these spots here tonight. I was hoping it would be a tight series. I think the games themselves were tight in moments, aside from that third game where Deacon kind of ran away with it. I think that Monash definitely fought for each game, but Deacon just came out the better team at the end of the day.
Yeah, they definitely are, and I mean, not much more to say than that. Both these teams, I think, need to cut down some unforced errors, especially when we look at, you know, the top 4 Elite Series teams that we saw today. It feels like they were the ones who were stepping up, but I do digress. I'm happy with both these teams. You know who else is happy with both these teams? Our sponsors. Our sponsors love the Open Series, just like we all did. They are excited to see more of Virgo. They are excited to see more of Psycho. And they are excited, especially AGON by AOC, to have us tell you about being the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provides best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. And of course, Indomie, our noodle partner for the event, made with high-quality flour and select ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie meat goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Looking at the image right there, and it was all the McGoreng. They didn't have any of the flavors. All the McGoreng flavor. They know what the uni students like. They for that.
I was about to say that looks like my cupboard when I was in uni as a student. That is my entire cupboard, so that's
not my cupboard now. I'm gonna be real. After working with like full day work, maybe a little extra overtime.
Yeah.
Indomie. Maybe again.
Indomie.
Fry up. You know, sometimes I'll like slice up a steak or slice up a chicken, a little bit of spinach as well, and it's a complimentary to a fine meal. Look, thank you all so much, and of course, do make sure to follow AEL on all the socials as well. The Twitters, the Instagrams, the Facebook. Stay up to date with all the events that are happening. All of the semester 1 InterVarsity esports are starting to come to an end. A lot of grand finals around the corner, and you don't want to miss any.
No, not at all. They're going to be so exciting. We've got a great lineup of games next week. So I definitely encourage anyone in chat here tonight, if you're one of the other teams, if you're one of the other unis who's played in the league, and you want to kind of suss out your opponents for next season, because you're all definitely returning. You have to return. It's definitely not one to miss. I think it's going to be a really good grand final. It's going to be a really good third place playoffs for our elite series. And of course, we'll have our grand final for the Open Series as well. So something you're not going to want to miss.
Now, so looking forward to seeing you all there. Have a great night, everybody. We still have 15 minutes left in State of Origin, so we're calling it now. All right. I know you're down in Victoria. You don't really mind that much, but the Maroons are making a comeback, and us here in Queensland, we didn't have any teams playing today here, but we're playing there. So we're gonna go cheer them on. Have a great night, everybody.